Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show, the 40k show, our Monday night show on YouTube and on Twitch, live, going out to you in a vest top again, and I make no apologies for it. It's still quite warm. My arm still itches, so yeah, you're going to have to stuff me in a vest top. Thank you to all of you that have joined us so far on YouTube and Twitch. You guys are all heroes and legends, and thank you very much for coming and hanging out with me. If you're listening to this back on YouTube as a video on demand, then you can come and hang out with us 9:30 every single Monday night, 9:30 UK time, just to clarify. You can come and hang out with us and talk about topics. And tonight we're going to talk about limited edition boxes. So if you're new to the channel, if you're new here, my name's Liam. I'm one half of deploymentzone.tv, and we've been streaming for about 4 or 5 weeks now, and so far it's going well. And what we do is every single week we pick a topic. I normally stick a sort of poll out on YouTube and ask some opinions and ask some questions and get a feel for what the community think, and then we kind of talk about it on YouTube and Twitch live on a Monday night, and then after we've done sort of, I don't know, 20 minutes about talking about the topic, we then just chat to the chat and engage with you guys, which is amazing. So thank you for coming and hanging out, because without you it'd be 15 minutes. With you it's like 2 hours. Before we get to that, I want to say a huge thank you to the guys in Twitch who have already subscribed and resubscribed, etc. So if you are watching, there are ways you can support the stream through super chats on YouTube, through joining the channel on YouTube, through subscribing on Twitch, etc., etc., etc. And this is part of my. I need to set a goal. This is part of my get Liam out the factory goal. This is kind of what this is about, and being regular. Sounds like a bathroom habit, but being regular on places like Twitch and YouTube, because normally it suffers because DZ takes precedence. I'm in a routine with DZ right now. I'm feeling quite happy and quite confident. So now we're focusing on YouTube and Twitch. So big shout out to Scrivo, who's resubscribed for 1 month. He's an absolute legend. And if you see the logo on YouTube and the logo on Twitch, Scrivo is the guy who does that artwork. What an absolute hero. I'm sure he takes more commissions, so give him a shout if you want yourself immortalised as a 40k cartoon. What an absolute legend. The man from McCrag has given out a tier 1 community sub. Hero, thank you so much. Datsun Des has resubscribed for a month, so thank you. He's been subscribed for 9 months. We've not even been streaming for 9 months. Love Datsun Des. And that means there's a hype train already on Twitch, so thanks very much. And Trash Bag Pilgrims followed. So we've got through those, right? There's no other subs or super chats. Perfect. Good. Okay. Amazing. Right. Also, one thing I have to say before we get started is fuck you, 40k community. So I tried a little experiment this morning on Instagram, and I thought I'd been super clever. I had not been super clever. I've shot myself in the foot. Loads of orc hype this weekend. I had a model sat on my shelf forever. I wanted to buy it ages ago because I like the model, despite the fact that I predominantly hate orcs. I've always kind of hated orcs. So I put this thing on Twitch and said, if this model gets to 1,000 likes, I've never had a post get to 1,000 likes, and if I get to 3,000 follows, and I was like 250 behind that, then I will promise you I will paint this model and it will take precedence. And then Valrak shared it, and then Quipster shared it, and then DZ shared it, and now it looks like I have to paint him. So expect social media updates of me painting Gaz for an orc army I don't have. Maybe I'll do like 5,000 Instagram followers and I'll build an orc army. I don't know. Anyway, that's not what tonight's about. But it's kind of related. And it's kind of related because this weekend the Beast Snagger box was released by Games Workshop. And I wanted to talk about limited edition box sets. And I raised the question on YouTube. I put a poll out there, and the response was relatively overwhelming. There was some that like limited edition. There were some that like limited edition and went into the comments and added caveats about limited edition. But predominantly the response was hate limited edition. It just feeds scalpers. There's some guys in the chat that started really early on tonight, before I even went live, that were like, yeah, it's crap. It feeds scalpers. Job done. So I want to talk about it a little bit, and then what we'll do once I've sort of given my opinion and my impression is we'll jump into the chat and we'll see what you guys in the chat think. Huge thank you to Son of Olympia for gifting a 1 month sub. What an absolute legend. Don't forget, if you've got Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime, you can link it to Twitch and you can sub for free as well. You're basically just stealing from Amazon then, and I mean, they've got plenty of money, right? So it was worth it. So limited edition. I like limited edition as a thing. I like limited edition as a concept. I'm not specifically talking about 40k. I'm just about in general. I like limited edition. That's maybe I should add a caveat. I like limited edition when I can get my hands on it. So historically, when certain codexes have come out in the past, I have been one of those people who's tried to purchase one of the first 2,000 of that codex because I like the idea of having that different looking codex. It's got the ribbon and the coloured pages and stuff. And the thing is, historically, when they launched those limited edition codexes, they launched them as a limited edition codex, but they also launched them, this is interesting, they also launched them at the same time that they launched the standard codex. They didn't package them in a box full of models either. Limited edition codex, standard codex. That was what they did. So if you couldn't get hold of a limited edition codex because you weren't one of the first people to get hold of it on the website for whatever reason, you could still get your standard codex. There was no scarcity in that regard. There was scarcity of the limited edition versions, granted, and you knew there was 2,000. But there was no scarcity in terms of getting your hands on the actual rules. So I was kind of okay with that. In terms of box sets, I'm okay with limited edition box sets. My caveat being, if you're going to release a box set that has, for example, all the Beast Snagger models in it, also release them as a separate box at the same time. This is something we're seeing a lot with Games Workshop recently. They did it with Kill Team, with the new Kill Team box with the heavy intercessors. They've done it with, I mean, they kind of repaired it a little bit on Indomitus, right? But they still sort of did it with Indomitus too. And I think if they'd released the Beast Snagger box with the limited edition, I don't even want the limited edition codex in it. If they released the Beast Snagger box with a set of models in, maybe it's a Beast Snagger Patrol box, which is a massive saving that's limited edition, and you get maybe some extra bits in it. But they also released the Snagger Boys and the Squig Hog Riders and that shitty character all at the same time. Yes, you might be a bit annoyed if you don't get that box and you have to pay a few quid extra to pay for the boxes and models separately, but there's no scarcity. You can still get hold of them, right? And that's the key. Maybe you don't want Squig Hog Riders anyway. Maybe you don't want that character. Maybe you only want the Beast Snagger Boys. Maybe you only want the Squig Hog Riders because you've already got 30 boys, and clearly I'm speaking specifically about orcs because that's what they released this weekend. But this can kind of be transposed across to any situation. It could be similar for the Kill Team box set. Maybe you only wanted heavy intercessors like a lot of people did. Maybe you only wanted flayed ones. If they'd have released those boxes at the same time as the limited number of boxes for Kill Team or the limited number of boxes for Beast Snaggers, I think people would be a little bit more accepting of a limited edition sort of system, I guess. Again, like I said, when you look at codexes, historically, when they release a limited edition codex, if you didn't get one and you're a specific fan of that faction, you'd probably be a bit like, oh, I didn't get the limited edition, but at least you can get your hands on the rules. We're in a really fucking weird position right now with orcs, and I'm going to an event at the Factorum this weekend. I'm joining the guys at Vanguard Tactics for one of their events at the Factorum. I'm really looking forward to it. It's my first event of 9th edition. It's my first event in like 2 years. And I don't have an orc army. But let's say I got my hands on the Beast Snagger box. Let's say I had an orc army. Could I run it? Because someone else might be at that event who has an orc army, who didn't get their hands on the Beast Snagger box because the random allocation system on the website was complete dog shit. And maybe they didn't get their hands on a Beast Snagger box, so they have to use the old codex. Can I use the new codex if they're using the old codex? Logically, you'd say no. Well, actually, you have to level the playing field. So you have to go with the majority, so everyone needs to use the old codex. But I've got my new codex. Why can't I? That's a really shitty position for Games Workshop to put the community in, and I'm not a fan of that at all. That being said, I also don't like the fact that the only way of getting hold of what is the newest Orc Codex, because if you've got the Beast Snagger book, you will know it is essentially the Orc Codex with the Beast Snagger cover. So it's the new Orc Codex. It's the 9th edition Codex. So currently now, we have 9th edition Orc Codexes out in the market. The rules are out there. If you're an Orc player, can you currently get your hands on an Orc 9th edition Codex? Well, yes. Yes. If you're willing to pay £200-300 on eBay because everybody fucking hates scalpers. Stop buying them from eBay, people. Stop feeding the scalpers, please. And if you stop feeding the scalpers and buying them, they'll stop scalping them. They'll stop buying them to sell them. Anyway. So we're now in a position where that scarcity is so bad. If you're an Orc player, there is 9th edition codexes out in the world, in the market, that you can get your hands on for stupid prices because scalpers, but you can't actually buy the 9th edition Orc rules from Games Workshop, and we don't yet know when they're coming out. We don't know if they're going to be this next weekend, the weekend after, or the weekend after that. We don't know. We have no idea when they're coming out. That's not the right way to run limited edition. That's ridiculous. Equally, you might have a 10,000 point orc army. You might have zero interest in the new Beast Snagger models whatsoever. You might not want Beast Snaggers for your army. And the only way to have got hold of the new orc rules over this last weekend was to buy a Beast Snagger box if you were lucky enough to get one. I don't see a world where that's a positive move. I'm going to ask the chat later, but I don't see a world where that's a positive mood. And I do get limited being special and people feeling like they're the special supporter of that clan faction army, whatever, because they've got the limited edition version. I've had limited edition versions. I've had limited edition versions of Death Guard Codex in 8th, limited edition versions of Dark Angels Codex in 7th, I think. I've had loads of I love having one of those 2,000 copies. Big fan of that. Massive fan of that. In the way they've done it this time round is ridiculous. Now, I think, for me personally, when it comes to box sets, when we're talking about giant box sets of models, I think there's a better way of doing that. So they can still run limited edition codexes the way they used to. We're going to launch 2,000 copies. Each is going to have a little special certificate that tells you which of 2,000 you are. At the same time, we're also going to launch the new codex for that faction as a bog standard book. And what they did historically was 50 quid for limited edition, I think it was, and £30 for the codex, UK money, obviously. About £7,000 if you're in New Zealand for the limited edition. But they would just launch those codexes at the same time with a limited edition set. For box sets, i.e. Indomitus, what they should do, for me personally, is they should do made to order. So rather than drive that scarcity of models, we are going to launch this new Beast Snagger box. We're going to launch this new Indomitus box. We're going to launch this new Kill Team box. You guys have got 2 weeks to place your orders. And at the point in which you've placed your orders, you'll be waiting 4 weeks for them to be made and shipped. I don't know. I'm throwing numbers out, right? Don't pick me up on how long the time frame is. But for example, 2 weeks for you to place your order, and then 4 weeks later we'll start shipping you box sets of the new Beast Snagger box or the new Indomitus box, whatever it is. You give everyone a fair shot at placing an order for the box if they want it. Everyone gets a fair shot. And some people are still going to complain and say, well, I can't afford the box set. That's okay. Then be open and transparent about your model release, maybe, and say, because at the moment people are going to go, I don't know when I'm going to get my hands on Squig Hog Riders, or I don't know when I'm going to get my hands on Beast Snagger Boys. It was the same when the Kill Team box came out. I don't know when I'm going to get my hands on Heavy Intercessors, and it could be 2 to 3 weeks time that I can buy Heavy Intercessors, and it could be 3 months time before I can buy Heavy Intercessors. And Heavy Intercessors might come out at 30 quid in UK money. They might come out at 40 quid, and I don't know what they're going to be. And eBay's got them for this because scalpers are a thing. So let's not do that. Let's be open. Let's be honest. Let's place pre-order copies. I say pre-order, made-to-order copies on the website. Give you a defined time to place your order. Shut it down, completely transparent, and say, you know what, you've missed out. We're going to ship these in a month, and then 2, 3, 4 weeks after that, we are then going to release the separate box sets. So if you miss out, you do not have to go to eBay and pay through the nose for 5 Heavy Intercessors that came out of the Kill Team box, or through the nose for 10 Beast Snagger Boys that came out of the Orc box, when you don't even know what that price point is going to be yet for that unit of troops. I think for box sets, for models specifically, that's the way they should go. And I'm not against the box sets. I think the box sets are really, really good. Lots of value, often lots of value. But be open with it. Be open and honest with it. And in Indomitus, I thought with Indomitus, they turned a corner. So they launched the Indomitus box, as you guys know, sold out seconds. People couldn't get their hands on it, and it's the launch of 9th edition. And then they came out and went, wow, that was more popular than we expected. So we're now going to move into a made-to-order phase. Maybe even do that then. Maybe even say, maybe do that. Maybe say, on launch, we're going to have 2,000 copies or 5,000 copies or whatever they are. We're going to have X number of copies on launch, and we're going to stick that box out on launch. And if you don't get one that will ship within the first 2 weeks because we've made all these ones already, we're then going to move into a made-to-order phase, and we will catch you all up as a sweeper in made-to-order. You kill scalpers. You kill scalpers completely. And I think, personally, that maybe is the best model. We've made X number. We've not over-purchased. It's not like AOS version 3, which is the fastest selling box set, apparently, because I've had loads of emails saying it's selling fast. Week on week. Still selling fast. Is it? You must have made millions, because it's selling fast and you're still selling them. So it's not AOS 3. We make X number of boxes where we're pretty confident we're going to sell these boxes. We ship them out. They are limited. If you miss out on one, we then guarantee you we're going to move into a made to order phase. You guys can place your order in a 2-week period, a 3-week period, whatever it might be. And at the end of that period, we're going to say that 4 to 6 weeks, we will then ship your copy of Beast Snaggers, or we're going to ship your copy of Indomitus. Like, that's got to be the model. The way they did it with Indomitus, although it was reactive, why haven't they employed that as the model? They sell more boxes. Really, the people that prof the most out of this at the moment, surely, is the scalpers on eBay. So scalpers are lapping up 4 or 5 boxes and then selling them on eBay for twice the price. Games Workshop could make that sale. Why wouldn't they? We all know that Games Workshop products have a massive markup. Games Workshop could make that sale. Why don't they make that sale instead of allowing scalpers to double the money of the sort of original value or the original retail price of that box? I've seen Beast Snagger boxes on eBay for 500 quid, 500 UK pounds. They came out at £125 on Games Workshop's website. I've seen them on eBay for 500 quid with watches. Now, I don't know if those people are just going, ha, this will be hilarious, let's see if it sells. But 500 watches, £500 on eBay, and they've got watches. Madness. So, in essence, if I was to summarise where I'm going with this, I think I like limited edition. I like limited edition codexes. I like it when they go, here's your limited codex, and you're going to have, with this limited edition codex, some limited dice, some limited command point tokens, etc. But we're not going to create that scarcity by then releasing the standard codex a month later, because that's bullshit. Because, like I said, we're now in a place where we've got 2 different rule sets that are currently valid for orcs. That's a mess. And, I mean, Games Workshop are currently a mess, don't get me wrong. I won't go in that too much right now. But they've got 2 different rule sets for an army. That's odd. That's a weird place to be. Really strange. And also with the way that they've launched the box set, they've created that scarcity. They've driven custom to places like eBay, where people are going to try and grab hold of those models because they don't know when they're coming and they haven't been able to get their hands on a box. That's also really negative. So I think release limited run, move into made to order so you don't overcommit to how many you're creating in the first place. If they're concerned that they're going to make too many, then use that model, go into made to order. And then I think that keeps the community happy. And there will be people that will be out there that will miss out on a limited edition codex if they launch the limited edition codex at the same time they launch the standard codex, and they'll be a bit pissed off. I get it. You can't please everybody. I am a person who's a fan of limited, but not when it's done the way it's been done with this current box set or recently with Games Workshop. So for me, that's the perfect model. That's what they should do. I don't think what they're currently doing is. I mean, this. I think this is all sort of. I think this is all sort of linked into a narrative at the moment where they don't seem to be really looking after their fan base. They seem to be trying to squeeze pennies out of them, and I don't know how much I agree with that. I don't know if that's. Winters did a rant video. It's a lovely video, actually, if you watch it. The sense of community that comes out of that video is amazing. Head on over to Winters' channel, watch his rant video. It's quite interesting. Winters has played this hobby for longer than I have. He's been involved in Games Workshop since before 40k was a thing. And for him, it's the cycle of life. This is what happens. So maybe this is just them going through their cycle, but I feel like they're not really looking after their fan base. And I feel like things like limited snagger boxes that have the queuing system that happened for that was a mess as far as I'm aware. I wasn't involved in the queuing system. I say that. I went to the website at maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening UK time to have a look at some models or something, and I was put in a queuing system, and I thought, why am I like that box sold out in 3 minutes. Why am I still in a queuing system? So that wasn't done very well. I was also told that the queuing system would randomly assign. So it didn't matter if you queued from 6 o'clock in the morning, like if you stood outside a physical shop, you could queue at 1 minute to 10, and then you could just go to the top of the queue, off you go, your Beast Snagger box, and someone's been sat there for half an hour going, well, I didn't fucking get one. How does that work? So I believe that the queuing system was a bit of a mess. And I also believe it went down for a minute, and then loads of people bought them, and they were sold out in about 3 or 4 minutes. So that clearly didn't work. But at least, I give them credit where credit's due. They were trying to do something about that. but it's not gone down well when you layer that on top of the current sort of community feel around things like animators and stuff. They're not shining themselves in the greatest of lights right now, are they? Let's be honest. Anyway, that's my opinion. So I like limited, but do it right. If you're going to release rule sets as limited edition type codexes with special covers, fine, release them the same time as normal codexes. If you're going to release limited box sets, fine, move into a made to order afterward. Unless there's a specifically limited single model that is I don't know. I don't know why. I don't understand why they would make a model set or a box set limited. I don't understand why they would do that. I don't understand how that makes them more money. If it's limited for a short period of time and then they move into made to order, they'll still get that rush of custom to the website the first day, surely, because people want to be that first person to get their hands on that box set. Surely they'll still have that rush as far as I'm concerned. But why wouldn't they then move into made to order? I don't understand this cut it off at the end, because they're just losing out on revenue. Surely they could just be making more money from making more boxes. And it's not like they're suddenly going to throw that mold out because it's done. I don't understand. I don't understand Twitch. I don't understand YouTube. Maybe you can try and explain it to me. So that's my thoughts. That's my feelings. That's what I think about limited edition. Currently, they're doing it really badly. I like I said, I like limited edition. I like collector's editions. I think there's ways to do it. I don't think they're currently doing it well, in my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Are you a fan of limited or not? If you're a fan of limited, do you completely, and this is pretty clear on YouTube, right? Do you completely disagree with how they're currently doing it? I think probably we know the answer to that from many of you already. I'm gonna jump into the chat in a minute and start reading comments, but I just can't see a world where this current model is positive. I can't see it. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't understand why they're doing it the way they're doing it. I get the fact that they're trying to drive. I get the fact they're trying to drive custom to the website. I get the fact that by making it limited, they almost guarantee they're going to sell those boxes straight away. I get that. I kind of understand all that. I just don't understand this model of we're going to drive that scarcity, then shut you off, and then you guys are going to have to you guys are going to have to go to eBay if you want to buy them, because that makes sense. We're Dats and Des, by the way, thanks. Dats and Des has just messaged me on WhatsApp, so I've sent you a message. Now, he's one of my mods in Twitch, so I'm like, oh God, what's going on? What's fucked on Twitch? What's not working? So I answered the message on Twitch, and he did what I did to Valrak, and he just said, you're a cock. Thank you. Thank you. Absolute legend. Made me smile at least. But that's what put me off. People put me off, and it's just me. That's what I did to Sam, though, so it's my own fault. Anyway, guys. Like I said, that's my thoughts on limited edition, right? And there's other stuff Games Workshop are doing. I didn't really want to focus on the IP stuff tonight. And what I will say is, I didn't just rumour and etc. I went to Games Workshop about the IP stuff, and I went to they've got a specific email address for reporting IP consents. So I went straight to that, which is straight to the GW infringements team and legal team, and said, look, motherfuckers, I didn't quite word it that way. What are you doing? Like, what's going on? Am I at risk? Is my business at risk? Is my YouTube channel at risk? What's happening, etc.? And they basically came back and said, if you do talking head content, podcast content, and battle reports, you are pretty safe. You are not at risk of being demonetized. Cool. So let's all breathe. Let's all calm down a little bit. I think we're going to be okay. I think we're all going to be fine. Like Winter said, we are 40k. Okay, so everyone chill. We're all right. Anyway, jump in the chat. Tell me what you think about limited edition. And if you haven't got anything to say about limited edition, just tell me anything, and we'll start talking to you guys in the chat. And if you want to guarantee, I'm going to answer your message in super chat, because we're starting to hit decent numbers on YouTube and Twitch now. You guys are amazing for coming and hanging out with me on a Monday night. But it means that I might miss a message that you specifically want me to read. I'll do my best to catch as many of them as I can, but historically I end up 40 minutes behind the chat because I try and read every message and I can't do that, right? So, cool. Huge thanks to Serbative for following on Twitch, absolute legend. And the Hype Train did okay. That was all right. So, let's go up to where Dats and Des called me a cock. Hello, Vanguard Tactics. Did Steve actually turn up for a stream for a change? If you guys don't know who Vanguard Tactics are, head on over to Vanguard Tactics on YouTube, sub to their YouTube channel every Tuesday night at the moment. Well, almost every Tuesday night at the moment. I'm hanging out with them, managing their live stream, just because basically they were shit. So I had to turn up to help them make it look professional and make it better. So if you want to hang out again live after tonight, then you can go to Vanguard Tactics and 7 p.m. UK time tomorrow. There's a live stream battle report. Maybe if Steve's still here, he can tell us which armies are fighting as well. That'd be cool. Man from McCrack says, it's not for me. I prefer the idea of made to order box sets. I think made to order has got to be the right way, right? Made to order's got to be the thing to do, I think, to make sure that people can get their hands on it. And it still means there's a degree of scarcity. Like I said, if you do a limited number of boxes in the first instance, people go, oh, I want to be the first person to buy the box, because that's me. That's what I'm like. And then you can still go in and made to order, and you still make the money, and you still sell those boxes. Thanks to Great Gaster Wasser. Can everybody in Twitch and YouTube just change their name to like Dave? So I can just say thanks Dave for the follow, and thanks Sabata for the sub with Twitch Prime. Absolute hero. Stealing from Amazon is okay in my book. I mean, I say that, I've got Amazon. Limited is really just a gimmick nowadays. It kind of is. It kind of is. Same here about the Horus Heresy books. The Horus Heresy books is a mess. So who was it we were talking to? Someone had waited for ages to try and get their hands on a Horus Heresy book, and then they were sold out in seconds, and that's the one they're missing from the collection. Mighty Moog in Discord. Felt bad for him. Just good honestly, you understand supply chain and optimized manufacturing processes. They can't make infinite products when they have a planned weekly release calendar. Absolutely true. I get that. So if you plan that made to order in, if you plan that all in, maybe it can work. Perhaps I'm talking out my arse. I don't understand their greater workings. I'm not sure. DNX USK gifted a 1 month tier 1 sub. Absolute legend. Thank you very much. And we have a super chat, the first super chat of the night from Squirrel Noob. What an absolute hero for giving me a wonderful super chat. If you guys don't know what super chats are, by the way, if this is new to you, basically you can pay a little bit of money or some more money or a bit more money on YouTube to have your message highlighted, and then it pops up massive like this huge box for me to see, and then I read it out no matter what, and it stays on top of the chat, and it pins there for us. The length that it pins there for depends on how much you super chat for, basically. So, and I'll always jump straight to super chat. Squirrel Noob says, I wish Games Workshop would put out their list of which codex will be released in which order. Not Jake's, just a general plan of release so players can plan and such. DZTV, best value in wargame. Aww. Thanks, mate. That's really nice. I kind of like that idea, but I understand from a marketing perspective, I understand being secretive about release rate of codexes. Like, I get that, because I might be looking at the new Orc codex that's just come out and thinking, oh, I might get hold of that. That might keep me busy for a while. And if I knew the new Chaos codex was due in a month's time, I might also go, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not going to bother because the Chaos Codex is out in a month's time, so I'm just going to wait for that. If I don't know that Codex is coming, I might go, I'm going to buy the book anyway because I don't know it's coming. And then a month later, I'm going to go, oh, fuck, the Chaos Codex is out, and I'll buy that as well. So from a marketing perspective, I fully understand why they do what they do and why they don't tell us what order things are coming out, and they leak little bits and pieces here and there, and we still don't know exactly when certain boxes are coming out, certain bits and pieces are coming out. From a fan perspective, yes, I would like to also know. And I think a lot of people out there who have limited funds for what is a very expensive hobby would like to know when a specific army is going to get its release. And I guess that for some people, that might have an opposite effect. Maybe you'll sit there and you'll go, I now know that Chaos Codex is 8, 9 codexes down the line and Orcs is next. So actually, I'm going to buy Orcs. Whereas you might, if you don't know, think, well, I could buy Orcs, but Chaos could be next. So what do I do? So I guess there's a double-edged sword there. I think from a marketing perspective, not telling us kind of makes more sense, but we'll see. Greater Walsall says, greetings, brothers and sisters of the Imperium. Oh, a loyalist. And Zildor, and I think you guys are doing this on purpose now. Flesh997TT followed me on Twitch. Legends, thanks very much. But don't forget to link Twitch Prime. It's important. Not yet get it in writing. It's in an email, so I think we're okay. What is your opinion on homebrewed legions and chapters? So, interestingly, I love the lore and the narrative, but from playing 8th and 9th edition, I'm now more of a fan of creating homebrew, because they change the rules and the meta shifts so rapidly that sometimes it's nice to be able to adjust. From a channel perspective, it's nice to have Homebrew because we can showcase loads of different rules. Doesn't make sense me running a Dark Angels army and showcasing Blood Angels rules. Doesn't work. If I had a custom chapter that I called the somethings, there we go, great chapter name, I can showcase kind of every single set of rules. So every supplement that comes through, we can show it off to you guys. So I think from that perspective, I like the custom chapter. In terms of my own way of playing 40k, I also like the idea of creating and building my own narrative. Like, I think that's one of the most fun parts for me in 40k, is building that narrative, deciding why they might fight with more dreadnoughts, or they might fight with more librarians, or they might fight with more rangers in an Eldar army, or jet bikes or whatever. I kind of like that. Having said that, I've also got a Simhan Eldar army, so sometimes I just prefer to use the canon and the narrative to guide the way I build that force. But yeah, I'm a fan of custom. Did you see the new Orc Codex isn't allowed at own tournament in August? Wow. And that's what I'm talking about. 2 different codexes out for the same army right now. And at the Games Workshop event, if you've then been one of those people who's got the new Beast Snagger box and paid £125 for that limited edition codex, you can't use it. Wow. Amazing. Here's my talk about anything. Had my first 9th game last week. 1. That puts me in the same win percentage as Valrak, so I can quit now. It does, absolutely. Battle reports really aren't any different to streamers playing online games, realistically. True, absolutely true. But there was, historically, Nintendo went through a phase, right, of going like hard after Let's Play channels, and then they relaxed quite a lot because they realised that no one else was doing it. And I guess Games Workshop have history. Let's leave it there. But I believe they couldn't touch battle reports. I believe that they couldn't touch them. The US call it fair use. I can't remember what it's called in the UK. I did a little bit of research myself. And in terms of reviewing a product and stuff, I think we were pretty safe. If you, at the end of the game, talked about what performed well, what performed badly, you're kind of reviewing. Grey area, I know, loopholey, etc. But it was just nice to have an email reply from them saying, you know what, you guys are okay. Inquisitor Vex says Vanguard tactics are brilliant, but I'm pretty sure that's only since I've come on board and started helping them out. I reckon, anyway. Lim Edition sucks from Dark Lord of Caliban, but it seems like pre-combat patrol. So he's not a fan of limited edition, I think we can take from that. Games Workshop are doing something right by holding back on 2 wound CSM. Every week you fucking troll me with that, don't you? I've started 2 armies while I wait for that codex. Brilliant. Steve from Vanguard Tactics says, in fairness, I think a lot more people are picking up the hobby faster than ever before. They can only go on forecasting from previous alt releases, so if more and more people are playing. I get it, but I don't necessarily agree. I think actually we saw a bigger uptake in new players with 8th edition, with the simplistic nature of 8th edition when it first launched, especially with the indexes. I think if a new player comes to the game right now, it's kind of tough. Imagine handing a new player an AdMech codex and saying, off you go, mate, and here's your chapter approved, which is the same as the last chapter approved with a couple of words that have changed, and here's your rule book, and actually here's also a supplement just in case you wanted to play some additional Skitarii rules. A bit of a mess. Anyway, Dave Army Assemble. Dave, someone's actually changed their name to Dave. I appreciate you. Because you've changed your name to Dave. Thank you. This is Jeremy from DCTV and YouTube, by the way. Oh, legend. What a hero. Thanks very much. I've also seen you in the YouTube chat. You're watching twice. It's worth watching twice, right? Steve from Vanguard says, can't believe my stream was shit before you can't believe you said my stream was shit before you came. Wow, always put me down. I mean, I have to keep you in your place, Steve. I also have to try and feel like I'm valuable. Right, that's the key there. I have to make myself feel like I'm valuable. Steve's streams are epic without me, as long as Eddie's not running it. Steve's streams are epic without me. Go and check out Steve's streams. They're amazing. And he runs the Vanguard Tactics Academy, where he's teaching people how to be better 40k commanders. I mean, I have played 40k for years, and I've learnt stuff from Steve. Some things that were a bit woolly before, just a bit clearer now. So I'm not running his academy. I can't hold my hands up and say, use his academy, it's brilliant, because I'd be fucking lying to you, because I don't know. His academy's got a lot of members in it that have been there for a very long time. So think about joining the Vanguard Tactics Academy as well, legends. And if you want a taster of the Vanguard Tactics Academy, then sometime soon, Steve's going to be putting Academy content in DZTV. You can ! DZTV in the chat. That will give you a link to Deployment Zone, 7-day free trial from the day you sign up. And if you cancel before the end of the 7 days, we won't charge you. Once Steve's content is in there, you could, logically, jump in, do a 7-day free trial, look at his first academy video that he puts in there, go, that's really good, actually I'm going to go and join the academy. Or you could go, actually this isn't worth it, and cancelling it. Hasn't cost you anything, there's no commitment. But we do also have the Play on Tabletop series in there at the moment. Tomb World, episode 8's launching this week, and that's worth paying for. So yeah, go and join us in Deployment Zone, especially if you want to watch Tomb World. Anyway, we've had a super chat from Donald Minis. Absolute legend, thank you very much. This is what's keeping food on the table. No, I'm joking, it's not keeping food on the table. But this is part of, as I said, I need this goal. I need this Liam full-time goal. So you guys can know how much you're helping me go full-time, because I'm desperate now. I am fucking bored of working for a living. I can't even afford a haircut, look. Can't even afford a haircut. I'm joking. Donald Mini says, paint Gaz, have the DZ common vol painted units and challenge Winters to find out who is the king of the clans as follow-up to Champion of Chaos. So I have said, Donald Minis, that I will be painting Gaz now because Instagram has spoken. And I'm thinking about setting some kind of goal stroke target to actually put together an orc army, but I don't know if I want to do it, because I think that the social media world out there will just fuck me, and I think I'll end up with a whole orc army that I probably don't want. So we'll see. We'll see. They are afraid, Synthas in YouTube says they are afraid to losing the effect of spontaneous buyers for regular 2-player boxes and wants to not to lose money in single sales for new stuff. Further, they seem to plan 6 to 9 months in advance. Yeah, so they do. They obviously plan loads of time in advance. I'm a playtester. I know how far in advance things are planned, and they're planned very far in advance. But and I get that they want to drive their sales. That's what I'm saying. Create a small, maybe underestimate how many you're going to sell and put them on sale as a limited box, and then move into a made to order for another X number of weeks. And even then, because you've got a made to order bracket of time, you still have a limited number you can make. How many people are going to order in that 2, 3, 4 week period? Logically, once that's done, you've done. Then you can move on to your next project, your next release, your next big, your next sort of big production factory, because you've got that time frame done. You know how many you're creating, and how many boxes you need to make, and everybody got a chance to buy one. That's key, right? I think that's key. Chapter master of the Unthinned Paints chapter. I really hope they'll expand on narrative mode. Yeah, I mean, so they're now bringing people in specifically to help with things like Crusade, which I know isn't the most popular for some people. They're making lots and lots of moves to move into improving things like Crusade. And I think that's really key. And they're bringing people into playtesting who aren't just supremely competitive. They've got their competitive experts, people like Steve, who are smashing that stuff. And they're now looking at additional sort of narrative kind of playtesters and people that are trying to feed that. It's kind of what me and Brom and Chris and Quipster are doing now. We're sort of feeding into that narrative type stuff and going, actually, this doesn't sort of make narrative sense. It doesn't feel right. So, I think they're making good moves there. There's so much negative press about Games Workshop, and it's justified. Hands up, it's justified some of what they're doing. I get it, right? And I get it's pissed people off, and I get it's upset people. And what I think is a real crying shame is I feel like people are missing some of the amazing work that they're also doing at the same time. And maybe that's because it's not so public and they're not shouting about it. And I get that. And you look at some of the things they're doing. People scream for Plastic Sisters as Plastic Sisters. We've had Black Templars confirmed that Valrak's been ranting about forever. There's so much stuff. We've got a new Castellan Crow model that they've just announced. Although, doesn't he look fucking stupid next to normal Grey Knights? Is it just me? I feel like if they were going to release more Grey Knights, they would be next to Castellan Crow, but they're not. They've used the old ones. So I feel like maybe they're not doing that. And it looks like Castellan Crow is marching to war with an army of squats. Inquisitive X says, coming back after 3rd, 4th ed played Kill Team for a year. I'm struggling to get my head around 9th ed without being able to play games regularly. I mean, COVID's not helped, right? Clearly, COVID's not helped that. And hopefully now the world's starting to relax and chill out a little bit. I feel like it's going to be better the more people can play. I'm going to learn probably more this weekend at an event playing 4 or 5 random people that I've never played before than I will have ever learn so far in 9th, playing Brom and Winters and a couple of other people. I think I've played Chris and Quipster. Just because there's more scenarios that exist when you're at an event that you wouldn't necessarily come across when you're playing. There's just loads more, I think, that you get exposed to, and you'll have some janky situations will turn up, and I'll learn what rules interact. COVID's killed all that, right? So COVID's killed that kind of interaction. It's killed that regular gaming for people. And so that makes it harder to learn an edition anyway. Not to mention the fact that they are firing rules out at what personally I think is an alarming rate. And so it's hard to keep up. With the exception of currently my full-time job, which we're hoping to get rid of, people. Come with the exception of that, I'm hoping to build a life and a business around 40k, and I'm sometimes struggling to keep up with what's going on and what's going out, honestly. So, I think on the whole, though, we do miss some of the positive work that they're doing, which is a shame. TV Turmoil, I have recently stopped working for Games Workshop, and to be honest, they just want to squeeze every penny they can. If you emailed in to raise a complaint for feedback, was just a copy and paste reply. Pretty sad. Sad to hear. But maybe not forever, They learn. They've learned in the past. That's really sad to read. It make me sad. VTTO Kylo, hey you sexy man. Kylo and I have got a special relationship. On the first time I ever hosted a stream for Vanguard Tactics, I may have read his name wrong, and I may have called him a turkey. And now we're best friends. So, just saying, relationships can be born out of anything. Saint01 says, if you put your dice under your pillow at night, they will roll better. Yes. Especially if you don't let Winters touch them. Luke Seaman Chewy, DZTV's Chewy says, love your rants, Liam. Hey, you wear vests very well. Maybe this is a thing. Stream vests forever? Stream vests forever, I think. Let's do that. Best boss sounds awesome. Smith, head over to our stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. and get your question in and I'll cover it for you. Look at that. Look at Steve skimming the chat for viewers. Naughty. I come and watch your stream and you say nothing. I thought you were I've got... Let me catch up. I'm not like Steve. I try and engage with all the chat, Kylo. I don't just respond to super chats like Steve does at Vanguard Tactics. I try and respond to all the questions, mostly because he's got a bigger audience than me, so he can do that, right? I went to my local Warhammer shop on Sunday to get a brush, and lo and behold, they had one Beast Snagger box left on Sunday as well. I had to pick it up, even though I won't have time to paint it for a while. And kind of that's what they've done with that limited edition at that point, right? Because if you knew that wasn't limited, would you have bought that then? You may have gone, nah, I'm not feeling this. I'm not gonna pick that up, and not bothered. But because you knew it was limited, you went and got it. Grey Knights relaunched as squats. It's confirmed. Grey Knights as squats from now on. That makes sense, doesn't it? Between army doctrine strats and war gear that I'm sure didn't used to be there, and they all interplay. Yeah, so... And that's where I have a problem. And I think that I don't hate that level of complexity in 40k, to be clear. I'm a big fan. This is controversial. Bear with me, chat. I'm a big fan of complexity in 40k. I like complexity. I specifically like complexity that tells a narrative story. So I like the way an army might work if it's Tyranids consuming biomass and that feeds into something, or demons and the warp rift is growing stronger, or Necrons and there's command protocols going out and all that kind of stuff. I like complex that feeds narrative story. I'm a big fan of that. What I don't think they do very well, personally, at the moment, is I don't think they do it very well at breaking it down for new players. So we've spoke about this before, and I'm not going to bore you with the detail, but I would like to see 10th edition, which is going to happen because they're going to refresh the edition frequently because that's how they continue the book train. And when 10th edition happens, I would really, and I'm going to encourage Games Workshop to go, you know what, we're going to break rules down into beginner, intermediate, and expert level. And so if you're a beginner level, we use data sheets, we maybe use warlord traits, we maybe don't use them much else than that. If it's medium, then we're going to bring in stratagems and relics. And then if it's expert level, we're going to bring in army detachment buffs and stuff like that. I think if you do that, and you layer every book the same, every codex the same, I mean, they don't even lay the codexes out the same in 9th edition. Have a look. Stratagems and warlord traits and relics and crusade rules are fucking all over the place. So you never know where you've got to go and find something. But lay everything out nicely. Decide what's going to be in beginner, what's going to be an intermediate, and what's going to be an expert. Do the same with the main rule book. Beginner level, you're just playing the mission. You're not worried too much about secondary objectives. You're just playing primaries. We're not going to worry about terrain rules. Maybe intermediate is we're going to bring in secondary objectives. And maybe advanced level is we're going to start layering terrain. Now, me and Steve are thinking from Vanguard Tactics, are thinking about doing a How to Play 40k series. I've got a week off in August. I'm intending to go and live with him for a week, basically, and he's not going to get rid of me and I'm going to be like a bad smell. And I think what we're going to try and do is put together a series of videos that layer that stuff in place for people so that they can actually start off at a base level, and know that that base level is enough to play a game, layer in some more intermediate rules, layer in some advanced rules, and hopefully by the end of the series, they've got to a point where they are relatively confident with most of the rules. They've got some more sort of clarity as to how they're supposed to play, and they know what they're doing, right? I think that's something that Games Workshop could have done, genuinely. I honestly believe they could have done that. They did it with things in the past. Was it 2nd edition AOS where they had Becca Scott? Was it AOS? Becca, the American girl, and she did lots of little mini videos about this is this phase and this is that phase. Why wouldn't they do that? You could sell that shit, right? People would pay for it. Don't tell them that. Don't tell them that, because Jesus Christ will get fleeced for it. Awesome back rep with Winters and Steve from Vanguard Tactics. A lot to take away from Kimmy. Thank you, Kimmy, you absolute legend. I think Winters really enjoyed that one. And I think Steve and Winters are playing again on Wednesday, and I think that'll be on Steve's channel as well. So watch out for that one. Stream Vests Forever. Okay. Unless anyone tells me no. Has anyone seen who won the 40k app price lately? Like the last few months? What does that mean? Have I missed that? Stream Vests Forever from the man from McCrag. It looks like Stream Vests Forever is a thing, by the way. Just so you know. A positive, AOS Dragons. Goodbye money again. Those dragons. How good. I was instantly like, how can I convert them into Helldrakes for 40k for World Eaters? How can I make those dragons Helldrakes? Because I want those dragons in my life. A theory from Inquisitive X. Games Workshop have put the Squat Knights in with Crow to use up their old stock. Then they'll replace them with True Scale Knights. That's a surefire way to really upset people. Datsun Des says, yeah, I don't play Orcs and I bought the Beast Snaggers. I'm not saying a word. I grew up loving fantasy much more than science fiction. Dragons are my jam. I was always a Lord of the Rings man. I've never seen Starship Troopers or whatever the fuck it is Winters keeps telling me to watch. I was always a Lord of the Rings man. Fantasy was always my thing. I actually played original fantasy before I played 40k. That's a lie. I had 40k first, but I played fantasy proper rules before I learnt the rules of 40k. And then I was more hooked on the 40k modelled range and the gaming system than I was fantasy. I didn't like big blocks and wheeling them around. That was my personal preference. So I preferred the skirmish sort of vibe for 40k. And that's why I moved to 40k. And then my mate I played fantasy with, he's now hooked on 40k. Have you ever gone to an event and had to deal with a difficult opponent? Last week went to my first event and everyone I played was super nice, but my buddy had a really bad experience with one guy. I think if I ever have a bad experience at an event, it's normally a single person and it's super rare. Most events I've been to, I've played 5 good guys. Like, genuinely. There's this stigma, right, that's attached to competitive players. There's this stigma that competitive players are all win at all costs. They're all that guy. None of them are great. And I think that's bullshit. That some of them, so there's people out there that exist. There are people out there in the competitive scene that are those kinds of players. They exist. They exist everywhere, though. They don't just exist in 40k. So I think that if you're going to become a regular event goer, Donald, you said you've gone to your first one. That's amazing. If you're going to be a regular event goer, I wouldn't panic too much about that guy. And ultimately, that guy's got to go home at night and sleep. And they tend to, not have any friends or whatever. So they're not that common. Most of the time I go and have 5 great games. I'm going again, like I said, I'm going to the Vanguard Tactics event this weekend. Super looking forward to it because I think I'm going to have 5 great games. And if I do find a bad opponent, they're super rare. And ultimately, if you get to a point where you know the rule set really, really well and you know the game really, really well, then you can play them off the table anyway. That was in addition to my earlier comments about coming back to 40k from third, fourth ed. Okay, all right. So Inquisitive X is responding to Kylo. Kylo says knights aren't complicated. Yeah, they are complicated. Oh no, he says they are complicated. I was about to say, in terms of data sheets and rules, they have less than other armies, but in terms of actually playing them, they're really difficult to play because you don't have the footprint that certain armies have. At the moment, you don't have OBSEC, etc. They might change that in the future codex, who knows? But there's a lot of things to consider in playing knights that a lot of other players don't realise it makes them complicated. And a huge shout out to Son of Olympia, who has gifted a 1-month sub to Zelador. Dave. They can't even proofread their books. Good luck getting them to lay about the same from Big Old Mushroom on Twitch. Controversial, but arguably actually quite true. They have lots of errors that I'm not sure when they asked me to play test that they expected me to feedback on grammar as well, but I've been doing that. Although one thing that is interesting when people are commenting at, attacking maybe playtesters, realise that they don't work on every single book. So just because you're a playtester doesn't mean you work on every codex. On top of which, just because a codex comes out and you're a playtester doesn't mean that you were involved at that building. I'm just saying. The only problem with leaving terrain rules out for beginning is that they are key to keeping some armies alive. Yeah, that's 100% true. So, okay, my sort of example might not be perfect in terms of how to break down sort of easy, intermediate, and hard level, but I'm just saying that's the sort of thing I'd like to see, is a layered approach into how they teach people 40k. They might bring that stuff out on Warhammer Plus. They might steal everyone else's ideas on Warhammer Plus. Is that what you said? It's possible, I guess. Mohawk Minis is here and resub for 1 month. Absolute legend. We've had a follow from Balrock57. Thank you very much. Hello, Jay. He says he's here for the unofficial 40k show. Is this the right place? You were in the right place for the unofficial 40k show at 6 o'clock this evening. Just saying. But welcome, Jay. You guys should go check out Mohawk Minis on Twitch. Amazing painter. Also check him out on Instagram. Does some incredible work. What a legend. Dragon Drakes, exactly. Dragon Drakes is what we're going to be doing. Get Becca Scott to do the DZ Vanguard How to Play would watch. Yeah, because we can do that. If we can do that, we can't do that. That's no point. I'm not even going to finish that sentence because it's impossible. Are Gretchen supposed to have a 7+ save? No idea. But if they do have a 7+ save, it's because it'll be able to be buffed by cover. It makes sense, right? I know 7+ sounds like it doesn't make any sense, but if you buff them by cover, you can boost that save up. Got to go, brother. Sadly, can't stay for the whole stream tonight. Don't worry about it, man. From McCrag, you'll be able to catch us on demand on YouTube if you want to watch it. Thank you so much for coming and joining us, and thank you for the bits, etc. as well. You absolute hero, and the gifted sub, legend. Thank you very much. Who bought the Beast Snagger box without playing Orcs? I hope you play them now at least. I'm sure people will, and this is the thing. This is why you can kind of understand doing limited edition box sets as a company. How many people may have bought that box who wouldn't normally have bought it simply because they were panicking? Well, it's limited edition. I need to get my hands on it. So possibly, that's where it works. I don't know. Also, that's a bit shitty for Orc players if that individual then never plays the box and it just sits on his shelf. But he's bought it. It's up to him what he does with that product, I guess. Kevlar69 says next codex squats, just saying. I don't care for squats. Garci0014 Liam has a fear of watching films he could become easily scared if spoken about. He could become easily scared if spoken about. I don't watch films. I don't have time to watch anything. And if I do watch something, I tend to be watching YouTube and Twitch. I tend to be watching live streams like Jay from Mohawk, Mikey from Hellstorm, or Valrak. And I used to watch the Vanguard Tactics ones, but now I'm in them, so I can't watch them anymore. Twitch crew, welcome to the crew. Zeldor from Son of Olympia, thank you, Son of Olympia, absolute hero. Inquisitor Vex just finished a painting lesson with amazing Mohawk miniatures. That's Ginger Steve. Ginger Steve is a legend, by the way. We all love Ginger Steve. He's a hero. He's in all the streams all the time. Mohawk Mini says, love you, man. Hope you're all right. I'm good. The stream has decided, Jay, that I am to live in vest tops for the rest of my days on stream. How do you feel about that? You feel like it's a strong look? I feel like it's a strong look. So we're going to go for it. I do agree about setting levels of play low. Leave some rules out, maybe not terrain unless they fix shooting melee, but leaving out strats and the like could be great. Yeah, so like I said, I don't know exactly how they layer those rules in. I don't know exactly how they make that work so that certain players have an entry level and then they can progress through advanced levels and stuff like that. I feel like Games Workshop are very disconnected sometimes from their audience in terms of their player base and how they perceive their player base. And this was evident when we were feeding back some Crusade stuff recently. And I'm not going to go into the detail because it might give too much away, and I have to be very careful about what I say right now. But Games Workshop were engaging with specifically me and Brom about how can I need to word this carefully. So they were engaging with us about how Crusade they think works for players and how they think people are playing Crusade. And for us, it was quite a way off the mark in how we've been playing Crusade. And how we've spoken to some people, we've engaged with some people about how they're playing Crusade, etc. And we think that actually their perception of what people are doing compared to the reality of what people are doing is very different. And that's really interesting. So they're now think about it as a company, right, who are making rules and writing rules. They're now making rules and writing rules based on a perception that might not be true and might not be accurate. And you can then see how on occasion they can get things wildly wrong. And so their, over the course of the last few years, requirement to go into the community and say, you guys are our narrative players and you guys are our competitive players and you guys are this and you guys are that. And we're going to bring you in, right? And we're going to get you to test the rules and play test and give us feedback and stuff. I think that's a smart move. And I think that over time, as we progress through the editions and they get more people like Steve involved, etc., I can only see the editions getting better and better and better, the rules getting stronger and stronger and stronger in terms of an overall rule set. So I think there's a bit of a disconnect. I think that some of us are helping them see that disconnect, and I think that maybe a layered approach to rules in the future isn't out of the question. Maybe. But interestingly, if you think about 8th edition, they didn't need a layered approach to 8th edition. And I'm not saying 8th edition was perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but they didn't need a layered approach because it was more simple. So which would you prefer? Do you prefer the more simple base core rule set, which had some issues, or do you prefer a much more complicated one, but a layered system so you can learn layers? And at least you know that I'm an intermediate player and you're an intermediate player, so we're going to be playing the same level of rules. I don't know. Squike is quite the comment from Squike on Twitch. We're going to go through it. And he says, I find match play the best gaming experience with the limited time I have to get games in. I've tried Crusade and I don't really like it because I find it doesn't balance well. Whereas with match play, I know I'm going to bring my A game and I assume my opponent will too. So it's mainly a game of skill and tactical thinking, but also there aren't any ultimate meta chasers in my local group. So this is interesting. I don't think Crusade is great for pick-up play at all. And Games Workshop had targeted it so people could take their Crusade force to their local gaming store and pick up against an opponent and play that opponent who's also got a Crusade force. And we say, nah, that is not how people play. Typically, Crusade is going to be played via a group of people who regularly get together and play games. And so they will normally play roughly the same number of Crusade games together. And therefore, their forces will be growing at the same rate. And that's how it sort of stays balanced. So I think for pickup, match is always the way to go. Heretic Wargaming says, I started my Orc army because of the Beast Snagger box. The missus got me Gazgul for my birthday, and so I have to play them now. Gaz is such a nice model to put together as well, by the way. Just saying. Just saying. Mohawk Minis, I feel with the vest top and the man bun, you're living in a time that's different from the one that I'm living in. But I still think it's 1989. What do we have to do? How much, Jay? How many super chats do we need to see to see you in a vest top on your next stream? I'm just throwing it out there. I would like to see Mohawk Minis with a full mohawk and a vest top. I'm just saying. I prefer open warm to Maelstrom myself as match play. I just seem to boring and very tournament like. That's the thing, right? I think they've done a really good job of making match play tournament like, because we used to have the ITC, and the ITC was taking 40k rules and adding more rules, and they've gone, you know what, we might as well embrace it and essentially build ITC into match play. They didn't do a great job the first time round, hence the secondaries have changed twice now, and they're refining those secondaries and they're making them better, which is really, really good. But I think they've done a really good job of making match play the tournament version. I genuinely think they've done a good job of that, and I praise them for it. What I think they lack is other quick ways to pick up and play. Open War is kind of there with the cards. That's kind of okay, and it's kind of good fun. But I would like to see more focus at times on other ways to just pick up and play 40k. Because I don't know if your typical 40k player is a tournament goer or an event goer. There's a lot of them, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they are your main source of players necessarily. And I would like to see other ways of playing 40k that isn't just sort of focused around match play and match play missions. Carlo's invited me to a date night to watch Starship Troopers. Of course. You've just got to treat me right. Just look me in the eyes and treat me right. Vest look is not for you as a look. May as well be suckling at a permanent can of Stella. If I could, though, it's my beverage of choice. I'm just saying. Love me some Templars from Ginger Steve. I haven't seen what they've released so far. It'd be interesting to see what they've chucked out so far. I think was it announced on a stream? I think it was announced on a stream, wasn't it? Valrak's been mad for Templars. He hasn't shut up about Templars on his streams for ages. And he's convinced that there's loads of new models. So it'll be interesting to see if he's right or not. I'd love for him to be wrong. It's hard to play now the rules. Okay, so Open War can be good, but I don't think I have the cards. I've enjoyed Open War, Titanicus, Maelstrom, and what I played mostly in 8th, but it's hard to play now the rules in White Dwarf. I've got Open War cards for 9th, Squike, so you might better get Open War cards in 9th still. Not sure. Liam, you're looking a bit warm there. I have a key light that sits there, right, just off the camera. So I like the half shadow look. I don't know if you can tell that this side's shadowed and there's a sort of backlight there. That I like that look. I like that image, but fucking hell, this room gets hot. It's not too bad in the winter, but when it's the summer as well, I've got to shut all the doors and windows so the kids can't come in and annoy me. It gets really, really warm. Really, really warm. Some of us are still playing with our 8th old Ed Codex. Guy, my main army is Chaos Space Marines. At least you've got knights. 8th was nice and simple, especially for someone like me who returned to 40k after a long break. Just watched a few bat reps. I quickly got hold of these new rules, like vehicles with toughness, Overwatch morale. Yeah, it was nice and simple. It was really, I really liked 8th edition, and I am mildly concerned that the complexity of 9th might be pushing some players away. That being said, I think they're doing tons of work themselves as a company just to ensure they're pushing players away. So, you know, I need to see them this way, not you, mate. I don't know what that means, Jay. I am wondering if they made 9th more complex because it is basically 8th with a big FAQ and they figured most people know how to play it. To a point, yeah, that's how 9th is currently, but it's not great for new players, right? So I'm not sold that that's the greatest way of doing it. Lemstar, it drives me nuts that they put all the rules in different books other than the Codex, like the Warzone books. I'm not gonna. It feels awkward having to explain that the strat I'm using wasn't in the book X. Please don't trigger me. Don't trigger me now about Warzone Charadon. I'm trying to be different and be a bit more positive about Games Workshop and say, you know what, you guys are doing loads of amazing work behind the scenes. They're not maybe getting it right with limited edition boxes and what they're doing with animations, but I'm trying to be positive. Let me be positive about it because they are doing tons of good work. I'm going to remain hopeful. I'm going to remain hopeful that our hobby is safe. Okay? Don't trigger me. Don't set me off, YouTube. Don't set me off, Twitch. Don't trigger me. Don't make me talk about it. With a vest top, it's like Oslo off to keeping up appearances talks 40k. That's not very nice, is it? I was thinking more Auf Wiedersehen, Pat. Inquisitive Vex says, who's Valrak? I don't know. Winters has started putting that in his polls now. He put a first poll up the other day on YouTube and he put the same thing in there, which is amazing. I love Valrak though. He's a good bloke. I just wish he'd do less clickbait. But yeah, I'm a massive fan. If you don't know who Chapter Master Valrak is, where have you been in the world of 40k content, especially streams? Sam's a really good bloke. I like a really good guy, and a lot of you probably don't know a lot about his personal life. He's a really good bloke, trust me. Valrak's a really solid dude, and if I can help that guy out, I'll help that guy out. Look him up on YouTube. I have 5 lights. They add 3 to 5 degrees to the temp of the studio. I know you're paying. Yeah, and this is an Elgato key light, so it essentially is LEDs. Olil50 says you should get LED lights, much cooler. These are LEDs essentially because it's an Elgato key light. Because I used to have soft boxes and they got really fucking warm, and I just have the one key light now. But I'm in a little office. It is my office, but it's a little office. I've got my big beast behind me, which is probably kicking out loads of temperature. I've got that light on. The curtains are shut. All the doors are closed. It just gets a bit warm in here. So, but it's okay. I'm a bit moist. One of my favourite words. I'm a bit moist, but it's fine. I'm here to entertain you people. So I'll suffer. And maybe I can drop a few pounds at the same time. I'm having a bit of a grump on. Inquisitive Vex, I'm having a bit of a grump on with Valrak after being muted in his chat the other day. Well, then just stick around in this chat and realise that this channel's better and spend all your super chats here. Just saying. I agree this isn't the best way to go about it, but I'm wondering if that was their thinking. Possibly, absolutely. All be forgiving if they give us 2 wounds CSM. I mean, they are. They've said they're going to do it. They've said they're going to do 2 wounds CSM. Why didn't they put it in Warzone Charadon when they said they're going to do it? How hard would that have been, Games Workshop? We don't know how far off Chaos Space Marines are going to be. What if I've got to suffer 1 wound Chaos Space Marines until December? What? What if I have to suffer that? Do you know, in 8th edition, I used to frequently be able to compete with, I say compete with Brom, I was beating him most of the time. I've played one game of 9th, Chaos, Space Marines, World Eaters versus Ultramarines, and granted we only did 1,000 points, but he fucking tabled me. Brom tabled me. Mind you, Brom also beat Steve from Vanguard Tactics, so, you know. Mohawk, this is interesting, because Jay always brings up clever comments. Hate it. When you say that 9th isn't good for new players, what evidence do you have for this? I'm not doubting you, as I don't speak to many new players that aren't interested in the painting side more than the gaming side usually. So what have you seen that makes you say that? So it's interesting. We've had a lot of comments from people who returned in 8th and were a newish player. So a lot of them towards the end of 8th as well. And since 9th has come, they've gone, you know what, I'm walking away again. I was just getting my head around 8th. I was just getting settled. I'm going. It's getting too complicated. Unfortunately, that's actually been a common occurrence. There's been a fair few people that have said that to us. And in terms of new, I guess it also depends on what you classify as new. But I think if you returned halfway through 8th and then halfway through 9th you disappear, I'd still classify you as a relatively new player. Unfortunately, it's been a common message. We've had messages in Discord for DZTV, we've had emails and stuff. It's sad, but yeah. Lemstar has got, you know, one of the best comments I've ever seen. If they give us 2 wounds CSM, they can finger my mum if they give us that. Not mine, his. Sorry, mum. Brilliant. Okay. That's the level of this stream now. We had a bar. We're lowering that bar. We're going to keep lowering that bar. All I said was I think Carl from Lotus Eaters had a bolt gun after someone asked if Val had one. Very glad someone else mentioned Onslow. Who's Onslow? The contents picture on the Sisters Battle Limited box had showed multi-part Canoness. Was hoping they had accidentally used the photo for the start collecting. Still picking one up. It's good value. I mean, most of the start collecting's a good value, aren't they? To be fair, I don't think you can find a bad value start collecting unless. I mean, the other thing they do relatively well, I think, in those boxes actually is they do give you units that are sort of desirable for an army. There's occasions where you get. I mean, I think the Thousand Suns one had Ahriman in the box, which I think is a bit of a dick move, because how many Ahrimans does a Thousand Suns player need? But maybe they're trying not to allow you to buy 4 or 5 of them for an army. I don't know. All my lights are LEDs. They still put on heat. Feel the heat. Why did I do that? I know it didn't come from Val. I'm just upset at whoever it was that censored me. Oh. It was Valrak. Ads Hintoa then says Valrak is the man. He's worth a squirt. So we are lowering that bar. Okay, good. Okay, as long as we know. Kylo also loves the word moist. Now you understand what it's like growing up as a weed plant. 2 wounds, 2 WCSM. Second week of Christmas. Don't you get it? That's not true. You will still get 2 wounds CSM before my nights come out. I wouldn't bet you bottom dollar on that. Craig says, Liam, it could be next year before the CSM book comes out. I can't comment. There's really interesting. Have you thought of doing content to help them transition from 8th to 9th? Possibly a little, but it looks a little late now, but it looks like it's possibly demand for it. Yeah, so, and this is something that I've been talking to Steve about, right? So, yes, in short, Jay, absolutely. We're trying to do a series of videos that breaks that barrier of entry where people look at 9th and go, this is really complicated, I don't understand. Because it is, if you look at it, so I say it isn't and it is. If you look at 9th as a whole package, if you were to play Warzone Charadon rules plus rulebook plus codex, etc., it is really complicated. If you take a step back, start to break it down, actually, I think it's not that bad. And I'm conscious that I'm saying that as an experienced player. So, although not experienced tournament player, an experienced player in general, maybe that's why I don't think it's so bad. But I think if you break it down, learn a piece at a time, I think people can pick it up and remember most of the rules. Lemstar is thanked by Big Old Mushroom. Thanks to your mum for taking one for the team. What an angel. Oh, no. Oh, no. Datsun Des, I rejoined in 8th, but I love the complexity. I don't love the extra books, though. Yeah, so I'm with you on that one. Building complexity up, that's fine. Keep them in one fucking book. I'm with you on that one entirely. When I rejoined in 8th, this is from Peter Butchins, I was appalled by the amount of books I needed to fill Space Wolves, like Core Books, Space Marine Codex, Space Wolf Codex, Chapter Approved 1, Chapter Approved 2, Psychic Awakening. Ginger Steve returned at the end of 8th. but never got a game. I still haven't played a ninth, but watching battle reports seems to be harder and harder as more codex drop. Thing is, I can't walk away now. Again, there's another problem as well with 8th versus 9th codexes, and I think that I'd like to revisit how complicated it is once all the 9th edition codexes are out, but I don't know if it is going to be better or worse. I think it's just getting used to changes. How do I explain the basement full of models and kit to the missus? Just leave her in there with them. Shut the door. Done. Kylo's suggesting, for those of you that find it complicated, try playing Tabletop Simulator. Now, I've never played Tabletop Simulator. I've seen it played. I've never played it. I've heard that it can be difficult to start to learn, but once you get the hang of it, it's relatively intuitive after that. And actually, it's full of the rules. So it might be actually a good way of learning if you can't get to play a game. So maybe even Ginger Steve, have you played Tabletop Simulator? Give us a shout. Let us know. I just used the codex and core rules for the most part. Didn't use chapter approved books as the app had the points updated. And this is another thing, right? They've got the app, so they could make the whole edition more accessible if they made better use of the app. It's almost like apps of the future, and it's almost like having a digital version that everything goes into. But then I'm a personal believer. I've got Chapter Approved 2021. They didn't send it to me. I don't know why. They didn't send it to me. I had to buy it. And I really hated buying that book. For me, that should have been free DLC. Like, there's no reason why I should have had to pay for that book. But I did, because I need to be up to speed for the channel. Because YouTube, we're moving into live streams on YouTube soon. There you go. So I need to be up to speed with the rules, so I had to buy Chapter Approved. I really begrudgingly bought that because I didn't feel like that was something that should have been charged for. I can't read that name, hang on. Like 342, someone who was returning to the game at the end of 8th. 9th seems a little different to 8th until you add codex on the books. Okay, so basically saying that it's relatively similar, then you add the codexes and it gets busier. Old Man Arcanor, Liam and Winter's got me back in during 8th. Love Valrak and Kirioth too, but really, really don't like what Games Workshop has been doing. Come on, yeah. I can't argue with you, yeah, but have faith. I'm sure they'll be okay. I'm sure we'll be okay. I'm sure. And I was chatting to some creators earlier. I won't name names in case they don't want me to. I was chatting to some creators earlier, and I said, you know what? I think if we as a community of people stick together and look after each other and support each other, if all the creators, Mohawk, Hellstorm, Vanguard Tactics, Valrak, Playon, Kirioth, Lutin, Winters, myself, all these people, Mini Wargaming, Tabletop Tactics, Tabletop Titans, if we all stick together to SM Battle Reports, we all look after each other as a community, I think we're strong enough to survive whatever they throw at us, personally. I think if we all work together, we all look after each other, and we all stick together. I'm less frightened if we do that as a team of creators, as a community in general, because what Games Workshop may have struggled to realise, and I'm sure they haven't struggled to realise this. I'm sure they know. I'm sure they're just making some poor choices. I don't think I genuinely don't think they're consciously trying to see people off. I think they're making a choice, and they just might not be making the right choice. But I think that Games Workshop must realise that without the 40k community, they've got nothing. Winter said it in his rant video that he launched today. You guys, the community, you are 40k. Without the community, they don't have a product. So I'm less concerned because I genuinely believe in that. You guys are, I've been looking at my my YouTube and Twitch numbers over the last 4 weeks, and I'm blown away by the level of support I've had from you guys. And it's not life-changing, but it's amazing that you people take the time to sub on Twitch, take the time to super chat on YouTube. Some of you guys have even joined the YouTube channel, because you can join the channel if you wanted to on YouTube. There's benefits. We're going to start doing a members question time at the end of the stream, I think. I've just been starting building some of that in today, because I'm trying to just give you guys something, because I don't know what else I can do. You guys are amazing. You guys are the community. And I think if the community all sticks together, looks after each other, and supports each other, then I don't think we can lose a battle. if Games Workshop were to fight that hard to force us to lose said battle, then I think in the long run they're the ones that are going to lose the most, because the community will go and find a different gaming system. Wargamers will always be wargamers. It doesn't necessarily have to be 40k. It's controversial, but I genuinely believe, honestly, that they know that. I think that Games Workshop know that. I think 40k, I think Warhammer, I think they know that. I can't see how they can't know that. So I think that we'll be okay. And I think that it might be making some poor choices, but I think that they'll make other decisions and make other choices that will rectify some of the problems we've had. I think they will. I genuinely believe they will. And let's face it, Games Workshop nowadays are so ingrained in the community. They're so out there with the chats, the Facebook pages, Instagram, Twitter, live streams, etc. They're not blind to what's going on and what the community is saying. There's lots of memes out there at the moment. I can't believe they're blind to that. I can't believe they can't see what's going on. I can't believe they can't see the pain that some people are feeling right now. I'd like to think that they're more aware than they ever were before. And I think that because of that, I think we'll be okay. I think they'll go, ooh, we've upset people here. What do we do to pull this back? Honestly. Lemstar says he played a tourney in Tabletop Simulator and it was really good for learning new lists, but given that no one had to buy or paint anything, you ended up playing against some wacky lists. I'd be cool for that, though, for experimenting with wacky. I'm a wacky list lover. That's a confession. I love wacky lists. I love it when someone turns up to a tournament. I went to a team event at Confrontation Events down in Portsmouth, and I went with Mikey and Dan from Hellstorm and Brom, and I took a company commander, a Primaris Psyker, a Tech Priest, and I took 2 Lehman Russes, and I took a Shadow Sword, a Storm Lord, and I took what was the other thing I took? A Baneblade. So I took 3 super heavies and a Supreme Command Attachment 8. That was great fun. I love wacky lists. Peter Butchins, I just want a code. I get my codex that gets me access to the app version of the codex and keeps updating itself with all the new rules. Yeah, if you've got the Orc codex and you've been trying to put your app code in, you've probably noticed it doesn't work yet. The app wasn't ready for it. So Games Workshop will be updating the app tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, if you're watching this as a video on demand on YouTube. And then finally you'll be able to put your Orc Codex code in and get the updated rules. But you won't be able to get the updated rules because Games Workshop have also stated that you're not going to get the updated Orc rules in the app until the general codex is released to the public. So you can put your code in and redeem it, but the rules in the app won't change until everybody else gets the Orc Codex. Fucking mess. Ginger Steve, thing is, as a Templar player, I'm drinking all Valrak's madness in. Don't like the Tabletop Simulator, but I have played on that. I mean, a real game with real models and real people will be at the LGT. Playing real games against real people is amazing. It's just that's why I love the live. The interaction is the bit that I love the most about 40k, and so I can see Tabletop Simulator has a place. I think it's been a godsend over lockdown for people, but definitely that face-to-face with people, that interaction, going to that event at the weekend that I'm looking forward to, that's the piece that I'm really excited about. Vanguard Tactics Kylo, as part of the VT Academy, we use it for training games. Yeah, I've seen there's lots of that stuff going on in the Academy Discord. Like I said, I think the Vanguard Tactics Academy looks like it's supremely popular and it's a great value. I mean, Kylo's in here. He can actually speak for it because he's been through the Academy. So there's another way of getting involved and learning. And that's the other thing, right? So people like Steve exist. People like Steve run the Vanguard Tactics Academy, and a lot of people think that it's simply just to become supremely competitive. It's not the case. It's just to teach you to be a better player, a better 40k player in general, and it'll teach you lots and lots of different things: movement phase, list building, secondary selection, what to think about, how to play, how to screen, all that kind of stuff. So the Academy is a great way of learning the game as well. So I think Steve's got, I think to the end of the month, he's got a 50% off offer on as well on the Academy. So maybe it's worth giving the first month a go, seeing if you guys like it. I need to add a link in at some point so you guys can ping the Academy. Yes, for the live streams on YouTube. If me and Jay can teach me to paint an army in time, Ginger Steve. Oh, for the LGT. Okay, maybe give up. How long do you think it'll be before all armies have a 9th edition codex? I think we're going to be running codex releases until next year. So I think maybe another year of codex releases. And I'm wondering if we're going to see a new faction as well. Don't know. Let's come down some of these questions. Blood Angels Commander is a legend. Ginger Steve, I should use my Academy membership more. So you've got an Academy membership, you don't use it. Brilliant. Okay. Skyke, it can be tricky, but there are some good resources out there to make it easier, like Battlescribe to TTS and TTS 40k Discord. Oh, they've got Discord. Okay, interesting. Ginger Steve, I should use it more, mate. Trying to get building and painting done when I have the time, but you're right, training nights must be placed into my schedule. Like I said, there's loads of people who use it, mate, so, you know, or don't. Just cancel it and send me the money and I'll teach you. I'll do one-on-one sessions, Ginger Steve. But the rules for one-on-one sessions, if you want me to teach you 40k, is it's bottom half naked. Just saying. Jay has said it before. Games Workshop goes through business phases and hobby phases, and we are currently in a business phase. It will pass. Yeah, it will. Absolutely. And I think it's... I don't know if it's just Games Workshop. Companies do this in general. They make a choice. And there'll be reasons behind their choice. People like EA have done this in the gaming world. They'll make a choice. They'll do a thing. This is what we're going to do. And there's a reason why we're going to do it. And some dickhead in a tie in some office clearly thinks this is a really good idea. This is a really good idea. This is going to get me the promotion. This is going to get the shareholders going wild. This is what we're going to do. And then it goes out to the public because they think it's a great idea. And the public go, what the fuck is this? And they go, whoa, that wasn't the expected reaction. That's not what we thought was going to happen. And then they maybe reanalyze and look at what they've done and they tweak, etc. And I think Games Workshop do that like every other company. I don't think they're any different. I think perhaps one of the problems might be us. And when I say we're a problem, I don't mean like we're the cause. We're just so incredibly passionate about 40k. And I feel like as a community, because it's a smaller market in general, when you compare it to a game like Call of Duty, for example, we're a smaller market. So I feel like it's more of an echo chamber and it's perhaps louder when people are a bit upset about what they've done, about how they've behaved, about things that they've done. So I personally think that maybe that as a community means that it's a little bit worse for us, because where you look at our close-knit community and you look at the streamers and the video content creators and the on-demand channels and that kind of stuff, I think that means that it's the noise is maybe louder than it would normally be if it was about Call of Duty, perhaps. It's just a theory, but I think that possibly makes it worse. And then I think that I'm terrible for this. I'll hold my hands up. I think then what we also do is we also rile each other up and everyone jumps on the bandwagon. And we all go, fuck Games Workshop, and we all get our pitchforks out. And then there's, Peter Butchin says, wacky lists are what I strive for. One day my big boy list of pure Gravis and Dreadnought lists will become reality. I'll probably get outmaneuvered, but it'll be a fun feeling, a bit like Death Guard. I've got that. I've got a pure Gravis Dreadnought list I'm currently working on, but I'm going to have to pause it to paint fucking Gaskull because Instagram hates me. I just buy and build what I think I'll like. I am almost never wrong, even if it isn't necessarily good. I think some of that depends on your gaming group as well, right? If you're lucky enough that your gaming group is pretty chill, then you can kind of just play whatever you want. And again, when you hear news stories, I say news stories, I don't mean like it's on BBC or Sky. When you hear stories about what people have experienced, it tends to be the rarities that you hear. But hey, Inquisitive X, no way, new faction. You can't just casually mention new factions like that and not tell us anything more about it. Poor form. I have no news on a new faction. Genuinely promise you, I have no news on a new faction. I have no idea at all. So I think we'll see one. But I guess that depends on what you call a new faction. I don't think we'll see a whole new race. I just think we'll see new factions that haven't had their own standalone codexes before. Mind you, we haven't now. Black Templars are currently, they've had a codex before, haven't they? So I don't think they would classify as a new faction. I have no news to give you. And even if I did have news to give you, which I don't, I couldn't anyway. Painted Yellow says, I feel like it's better. I feel it's better than what they did to the hobby side in 6th edition. Ginger Steve, bottom half naked is one of the big no-nos with Jay's painting lessons. Might be to do with camera angles, though, each their own. I mean, are you getting, if you can't have bottom half naked painting sessions, are you really getting value for money? Are you? Are you getting what you pay for there? Maybe not. Maybe you're not getting what you pay for. I'm just saying. I'd like to think that Games Workshop learn from its mistakes. I think they do. I genuinely think they do. And I think we're going to be okay. I've said it before. Right? I'm confident. To the point where, so I'm so confident, in fact, I'll be honest now. I'll be completely honest. Up until about, let's say a month ago, just as I started these streams, I was super hard on okay, you know what? It's time to do this full time. It's time to go and do 40k full time. However, DZ currently isn't at a place to completely support that right now. It just isn't. And if it sort of peters over to being able to do that, then it's kind of fluctuating a bit, right? I'm being straight up and I'm being honest with you guys, because you guys have hung out with me for an hour and a half now, so I'll tell you as it is. So DZTV is getting close, but it's not stable right now, and I need stability. I have a family, I've got kids, so I jumped into this live streaming, jumped into streaming with Steve, jumped into all this streaming stuff to be like, I need a way now of building me and my brand up so that I can generate additional revenue through Twitch, YouTube. I've told you guys this on every stream. I'm being honest. I can generate additional revenue on Twitch, on YouTube, using channel memberships, using super chats, using Twitch subs, all that kind of stuff. And if I can build that up, if I can build that additional revenue source up, and DZ's TV stays a little bit unstable, that's okay, because I've built that stability in myself, and that's fine. Which is why I'm so made up for anyone who chooses to become a channel member, anyone who super chats, anyone who subs on Twitch, anyone who throws bits at me, and I will dance for them. I'll dance. I'm not afraid. But then Warhammer Plus was announced. All that sort of noise happened. Then they've had the what's it called? The animator sort of gate that's been going on, and I have for 3 or 4 weeks been reevaluating, super nervous about. I even chatted to Willis about it, like I want to, but I'm super nervous about the fact that the way they're behaving and what that might mean. So the last thing I want to do, for example, is take the leap, hit full time, because YouTube's starting to generate enough revenue, Twitch starting to generate enough revenue, and DZ means that I can support the family by doing content creation for you guys, and more free time, because I've left my job, means more streams, more evenings, more all that kind of stuff. So doing that would mean that this completely supports my family, completely supports everything. And I panicked that with the way they're currently behaving, that they might then pull the plug on us without us having a choice, like they did to animators. It was genuine concern. And it made me think, it made me reevaluate, it made me think, does this mean that I might not be able to do this full time? Something I've worked for now over 3 years towards. And you know, I'm not looking for sympathy. This is my choice. And I love it. I love talking to you guys. I love streaming. I love making videos. I love playing 40k. I love it. I absolutely love it. But so I'm not looking for sympathy, but I want to get that out there, right? To get to where we are now with DZ has been so much fucking work. It is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So Andy H, fuck off. So see, I love you guys. So to have that much work put into this project, to put into this business, late nights making video content, late nights answering customer emails, late nights coding CSS for the website, all that kind of shit that goes on, trying to be original, etc. To then get to a point where I feel like maybe Games Workshop were just going to shut that down was really shitty. Like I was like, all that work, 3 years of work. And don't get me wrong, when I started on the journey, I didn't necessarily think that it could potentially happen. But as we've grown and developed, etc., I feel like that was a real crusher for me, like genuine crusher for me. Like, how can I put this much effort in and it be completely out of my hands? So that I've had sort of 3 or 4 weeks of that. And now I'm back on there feeling very, very confident that we're going to be okay. Genuinely going to be okay. And that content creators who create content like I do, like Hellstorm does, all that kind of stuff, like SN, etc., I think we're going to be fine. Honestly, genuinely think we're going to be fine. So, you know, I'm not concerned anymore. I'm back on the hype train. I'm back on the let's get to full-time 40k. But I need to continue to build this brand first to do that. Anyway, enough of me boring you about that shit, right? So Mohawk Mini says, the reason Steve can't go bottom half naked is that I'd be confused about what is his fine detail brush. Poor old Ginger Steve. Poor old Ginger Steve. Traitor Guard says, got to go. Great stream as always. Thanks for coming in and dropping into the stream. You're absolute legend. Hero, thank you very much. I'm a bit warm right now. VT Kyla, that's what she said. Yeah, arriving at the stream late and it's deep, but first comment as a member. How's everyone doing? John Taylor, you absolute legend for being a channel member. Do you want to be like John Taylor? Do you want to be like John? Do you want to have a nice little beard next to your name? You too can be like John Taylor and you can become a channel member. Just saying. Andy H, if you want to know why I told him to fuck off, he said, still going, someone's going to be sleeping on the sofa. No, I was supposed to be in Birmingham tomorrow on a meeting and it got cancelled last minute because the depot I was going to be visiting has got COVID concerns. So I can be a bit later tonight because I don't have to get up so early to drive to Birmingham, which is amazing. Also means I don't have to drive from Birmingham straight to Vanguard Tactics Steve. I actually get to just come from home, which is much nicer. John Taylor, good. Just experience Hooters in Nottingham was interesting. I took Brom to Nottingham on his stag do. We did tank paintballing, which was incredible. Clay pigeon shooting, and we spent a lot of time in Hooters. If you guys ever met or saw John from Visicast, he didn't know that Hooters existed in the UK. We took him into Hooters on the Friday night when we turned up in Nottingham, and it was hard to get him out of Hooters for the weekend. Inquisitive Vex asks Nottingham has Hooters. Yeah, it's decent as well. Well, it depends if they're A team or B teams on. Burst of 75, you have to cover your arse as they may try shut down bat reports, but there is a huge difference between guidelines and the law. There is absolutely. Please tell me more about the Hooters. Lots of talking about Hooters. So this is now a Hooters stream, I guess. Did you get a socially distanced lap dance? Amazing. I would pay to see that. Absolutely. I had to stop my Patreon account, but I'll never stop my DZ account. I want to support the dream, but I have 2 kids as well. Dude, no one ever has to explain to us why they can't super chat or sub or follow DZ or pledge on Patreon or any of that stuff. No one ever has to give us a reason. I don't ever want people to feel like they have to explain why. Family comes first. Family is so important. That's why I haven't leapt yet, because I need to be solid and safe for the kids. So what you've done by cancelling Patreon is exactly what I'm doing, and wait until I launch. No one ever has to explain why they've cancelled Patreon and why they can't pay for a DZ sub. You guys, anything you do, being here is incredible. Being in the stream and chatting to me is incredible. I just need to get my numbers up because 100 is like rookie numbers right now, right? But you know. Warhammer World in the UK's only Hooters, that's true. Tabletop Events is also near Nottingham, and Element are building a shop there as well, or they've opened a shop there. Tiff Taff 87, got to go, cracking stream. Thanks, legend. Thank you very much for joining us. Absolute hero. See you next week. Ginger Steve, the fine detail brush is the one you can see at the end of when I hold it in my hand. Can't be a member on mobile. You can, because I've done it. I'm a member of Valrak's channel, and I did that on mobile, so don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, Ginger Steve. If you don't want to do it, just say. I'd rather you were honest. Make Sultan homeless, let Gehenna burn. If that's out of context, then you guys think he's probably a bit horrible. But the Gehenna campaign is DZTV's narrative campaign. Basically, it's a way for you guys in the community to get involved with a narrative campaign. You can submit your results via a Google document that's provided in emails and the video links and stuff. So jump into DZTV if you haven't, ! DZTV in the chat, and you guys will get to go and get involved in the Gehenna campaign. Again, like I've said to you, 7-day free trial, right? So you can 7-day free trial, decide if you like it or not. I don't like it, I'm going to cancel. That's fine. It gives you the option. That's why I wanted to turn the 7-day free trial on, so you don't have to take the pledge before you've seen the content. Okay. Peter Butchins, DZTV now sponsored by Hooters. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? I'd like that. Old Man Arcanor, yeah, but we wish we could support you or support you more for what you've created. Dude, you're here. Stop it, people. Stop making me feel bad about talking about you guys supporting me more. That's not... You're here. That's enough. That's good support. Thank you. You're legends. Broadsword Wargaming, welcome. You used to live 2 minutes from Hooters in Nottingham. Amazing. I don't know if I'd leave. VT Kylo, are you doing the deck tomorrow on the Vanguard Tactics stream? Yes, I'm not yet ready to get my pants pulled down by Steve on stream. So, yes, I am doing the deck tomorrow. I need to play a few more games without Steve before I play against Steve, because let's face it, he's probably going to thrash me anyway. So, since he's probably going to thrash me anyway, I need to at least be thrashed with some grace. Saying that, Brom beat him, so, you know, maybe I've got a chance. But yeah, I think I'm doing the deck tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm doing it with Jake. It might be Jake versus Steve, and I'm doing the deck on my own. Steve, stop. You've DM'd me about like a member. Just there's a link in the video description. Click the link. It will take you to Google, and then you just do it that way. All right. Okay. Right. Fine. Can't on your YouTube. There's a link in my description, Steve. I told you there's a link in the description. I understand how YouTube works. It's my only life skill. Clearly not. Were the tables big enough for a 2K game? Asking for a friend. Old man Arcanor. Dude, just call me Arcanor. Yeah, but that's not your name. Andy H asks who's Valrak. And Mighty Moog said who's Andy H. I think this is the first week that Valrak hasn't raided us, so we've just been left in peace, which is quite nice for a change. Broadsword Wargaming. If you get the women out of the way, yeah. Okay. Mohawk Minis, I'll give you a practice game. Jay, I'd love to come and play. We need to. Well, I'll have to try. And next time I've got a depot visit booked into Bristol, I'll have to drop by and we'll see if we can chuck a game together because it'll be good fun. Broadsword Wargaming, just start playing with your little toys in front of them. I think that might be a euphemism. Kimmy says, yeah, get John from VisiCast on the stream night. Tempt him to come back to the game. So John from VisiCast messaged me, right? He's actually keen to be involved in the streams, but he doesn't want to be involved in 40k. So he wants to be involved in the live production, but doesn't want to be involved in... See, Ginger Steve, you can do it. You can do it. He wants to be involved in the streams. So he wants to come and hang out and be involved in the, I think, the sort of production, which is, I guess that's his jam anyway, right? So I think we might see John about, but I don't think he wants to actually play. I've been trying so hard to hook him back in, but I'm not sure he's up for it. I don't know. And now everyone's asking who is everyone. Brilliant. Okay. I'd be worried that some girl would step on the model once she gets old. How are we still talking about playing 40k and Hooters? What if that was DZHQ? What if DZHQ was a combination of a gaming hall and a Hooters all rolled into one? Now that, good people, that's a Kickstarter idea right there. Just saying. Valrak was messaging me earlier asking where we can set up a filming studio that we can both reach. But we are quite a way away from each other. We're like 4 hours away from each other. So yeah. Anyway, massive shout out to Ginger Steve for becoming a member of the channel. You absolute hero, Steve. There is a Discord link for a very small, not very functional Discord right now, just because I have to offer something as a benefit. If you guys want a really busy Discord, you can join the DZTV one. And a huge thanks to Okenteki for resubbing on Twitch for 1 month at tier 1. Absolute legend. Thank you very much. You guys are heroes. Absolutely love you. But yeah, thanks for joining the YouTube channel membership. They've started to slowly go up. I don't know what the numbers are for YouTube. Let's press the button. 18 out of 25 for July, and we're on the 26th. So this is the last night in July. 7 subs to hit the goal. Will 7 of you YouTube people hit that goal? Because Twitch smashed it, to be honest with you. But then they can do it at Twitch Prime, so it's not quite the same. I'm aware of that, okay? I'm aware of that. But Painted Yellow says, did my Prime sub go through? My sub number looks like it's gone up, but you wouldn't have got a shout out if you didn't click some crazy buttons, because Twitch can be a bit of a twat around Prime subs. But if you have subbed for Prime, then thank you so much. You absolute hero. If you're doing it with Eddie, he is getting trolled. Actually, I think Eddie is there tomorrow, Kylo. I think he is. So I'm definitely going to wind him up, because I told him that the one that he did without me was a complete car crash. Tell me if you think it was a car crash or not. A stage name. Who's got a stage name? Who's got... Oh, yeah, she only knows my stage name. Andy H. Andy H has definitely got multiple names. So, yeah. So Ginger Steve is now, wow. So Ginger Steve is now pledged on DZTV Patreon and YouTube. If I'm this desperate for you to leave your job, then are you sure I'm not your boss? Wanker. Thanks though, Ginger Steve. Absolute legend. I genuinely appreciate it. Like, I can't, it's hard for me to actually express how much I appreciate that kind of support, because it's weird to me. I was talking to Sultan about this earlier, right? So Sultan's going on Shrine of Chaos with Mini Wargaming Dave on Wednesday, and he's a bit sort of blown away by it. And I was like, the fact that you people do these things for us, the fact that you show us this kind of support. I mean, Jay's here, right? I'm sure he'll say the same thing as a content creator. It's mind-blowing that little old me has this number of people that are willing to support us. Really, really impressive. Like, I'm so grateful, and I really struggle to actually properly... Oh, Kylo. You sexual beast. So Kylo's also become a member, which puts YouTube up another one. So only 6 people to go to hit the goal for July. Next month, I'm going to set goals, and I'm going to do a big giveaway. Genuinely going to do. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm thinking like 250 quid worth of giveaway if we hit the goals. I reckon. I think we need to do that. Start raising flags on those objective, boys. You guys are heroes. Absolute heroes. You guys are still talking about Hooters as well, though. That's the worst part. They're all talking about Hooters, and I can't... Some of it, I'm not sure if I can read it out. So, why did I read Yes in Big Nasty's voice? Who's Big Nasty? I don't know who that is. I'm not sure who that is. If DZTV opens the Hooters, I can bring my mum so we can get 2 in CSM. See, now that's the sort of thing that I feel like I shouldn't have read out. I feel like that wasn't something that I should have read out there, but okay. I mean, if she's up for it, then I guess we're golden. Lemsar can bring his mum to Hooters, and then we might all get 2 wins CSM. And if you don't know what we're talking about, I'm not going to repeat it. It's pretty disgusting. Legend. Painted Yellow 37 says, what share thing? So when you sub with Twitch Prime, there's like a little thing that pops up, and you have to type a comment, and someone in Twitch explain for me, because I don't know what you're all saying, or how it works exactly, but you know, there's got to be a way that people can easily explain how you share the fact that you've subbed on Twitch Prime. I think it only lasts for a certain while, but I'm sure it's come through, dude. Like, you're a legend, so thank you so much. Massive shout out to you. Mo Hawkman says, still doesn't feel real, the amount of support that I get. I'm the same, like 100% the same. And I also like, I spent so long not focusing on YouTube and Twitch and stuff, and focusing on DZ, that I've not grown my channel. So I used to be a bigger channel than Hellstorm and people like that, and I left it alone, and Mikey's much bigger than me as a channel goes now, and I've just done that on purpose to grow DZ, and it's going amazingly. So it's been worth it, but because I'm a smaller channel, I then get even more blown away by the amount of support I get. For example, Hugo Merchant's just become a channel member and is a Jarl, absolute legend, thank you very much. And Brian Fnord is just... Fnord, did I say that right? I don't want to say that wrong. $2 super chat, I don't know, but Mohawk has talent. He does have talent. Jay's got a lot of talent. Jay's a very good painter. He makes me vomit in my mouth. So, I'm just saying. Inquisitor Vex says he's a rapper when I asked who Big Nasty was. I don't know. That's not my kind of music, though, to be honest with you. That's not my thing. My thing is more like metal and rock music. But to be fair, I listen to pretty much anything. Tom Marples has also joined the channel as a member. Wow. You guys are ploughing it in right now on the last night to try and hit that member goal. I don't know if it's going to update it yet. I'll have to click it in a minute to see if it's updated. But thank you so much, you legends. Jedi said, I with Steve, DZ sub, a started member on YouTube. I hope we get early access to the inevitable DZTV Open Day. So there is a DZTV Open Day. It's got a provisional date booked at Element Games next year. And I think it's July or August, but I can't remember. We'll be doing a video about it soon between Winters and I. And the tickets will go on preliminary sale to Astartes DZTV patrons first, because that's one of the benefits of being a Astartes patron on DZTV. So Jedi, if you're an Astartes member, you should get early access to those tickets. However, we are also talking about how we put together an even bigger event as a Comic-Con type thing, with all of the content creators all getting together at the same time. Your Valrax, your Play-Ons, Hellstorms, we'll get Jay there, all that kind of stuff. So I think we're going to get there. And I think we're going to get to a point where we can have a massive like Comic-Con event. We could do like Warhammer Fest, but better than them, basically. That's my goal, right? Painted Yellow has also become a channel member, as well as subbing on Twitch Prime. You're all members. All the members. I love members. I shouldn't say that, right? He says, I have missed it now. I can't find it. Yeah, don't worry about it. You told me. If you told me, I trust you, and I completely I completely believe you've done it. So thank you so much. Doesn't mean anyone now could just say that they've become a sub and it's there. But I love all you members. I love all your members. Search Big Nasty Hello Hi. I'd rather not. It doesn't sound like it's something. I mean, the way it's nasty is spelt doesn't sound like something I'm going to enjoy. I don't think I'm going to. If you were to come to the States, what would it be for? So this is what we were talking about we were talking about we're talking to Mini Wargaming and Playing about setting up a big event. So I'd like to come to the States for an event that we've put together, because I get I'm conscious of the fact that the North American sort of contingent that support us on YouTube and on DZ don't get to be involved in gaming and stuff. So I'm hoping that we can put that kind of thing together. But I'm also super keen to come out to the LVO. I was chatting to Reese from Frontline recently. I haven't got a ticket to play in the LVO. I intend to come out and just film and stream and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping to come and document it and just go a walk around and hassle people and talk to people. So I don't think it will be for me to play. Well, it's not to play because I think the tickets for playing have gone already. But yeah, so Datsun Dead says you've definitely subbed to Painted Yellow. You have the green beard next to your name. You do indeed. That's how we know. If you've got a beard by your name, then you're a legend. If you don't have a beard, Jedi has the idea. DZTV, Patreon, YouTube, and Twitch sub. Get this man out of the office. People don't like him there, and he works from home. They don't like me in the office. Apparently, I'm rude sometimes. You need floppier hair to compete with Mikey from Hellstorm. So Mikey claimed, Andy, that I was copying his hairstyle, despite the fact that I cut mine in before him, and there's evidence of that on social media. But he claimed that I copied his hairstyle, so I've had to go something completely wildly different, and he can't do this with his ginger bun. So Mohawk Miniatures says Jay is a talentless bum. He's just worked hard and managed to make a mini look like I haven't painted it with my fingers. Anyone can do what I can do, and I can teach you how. I think you're talking bollocks. Just going to throw it out there. I think you're talking bollocks, but hey. Inquisitor Vex says all the members. Yep, I'm just surrounded by members. That's where I'm happiest. Twitch crew, are we going to let YouTube beat us in subs? I mean, Twitch, you'd already smashed the goal, Son of Olympia, so you're pretty safe there. Eddie Stanton says, ditching me tomorrow again, are we? No, I'm there tomorrow. I'm there to carry your ass tomorrow. You've just got to sit there and talk to people and do the scoreboards. Otherwise, I'll do everything else. I saw what you did a week ago, 2 weeks ago, in car crash. Don't worry. I spoke to Steve about you. I'll be there tomorrow, Eddie. And I've got Percy Pigs in my box for Jake as well. I haven't actually got to the big. I don't know where the big one is. The big, what's it called? Marks and Spencer's. But I have got Percy Pigs for Jake tomorrow. They're in my box with my camera and my lens and stuff ready for tomorrow. Follow from Gunner Crow. Legend. Thank you very much for following on Twitch. Absolute hero. We're up to 780 followers on Twitch now. Who'd have thought it? I don't know if that's a good number or not, but thank you so much. Oh shit, Eddie is here. I did not say anything. Kylo was calling you out, Eddie. Just saying. He was calling you out. Says you can't fight. When are you coming to Belper, Liam? Yeah. Do you need to renew your passport? Belper's Scotland, right? I have to go to a depot there at some point. Craig and Tinney. I don't know if you know what that is, Moog, if it's anywhere near you. I don't know Scotland very well. So at some point I have to go to Craig. Should we see if the YouTube member goals updated? Ooh. Super close. Oh, it's a beard. I thought it was a bit random having a Space Invader icon. I mean, you can have you can call it a Space Invader icon if you'd rather. I don't mind. Liam saying you love members while wearing the tank just as a different stream. Tank top streams from now on. Okay, tank top streams. They're comfortable. I look cool. It shows off the fact that I've got no shoulders. Come on. I look cool. Listen to me. Absolute bollocks. I've taken the idea from Ninjon on YouTube and just made sure I put paint on brush every day, and it's helped my painting a lot, even if it's just colour for 10 minutes. Consistency is key. It's one of the ways that I suffer because I have big gaps between when I do painting and when I do different projects. I think if I can keep consistency, but I've got this guy to do because social media helps me. If you have missed it, I've now got this guy to paint. I only built him because there was loads of orc hype and I had him on my shelf. I was like, do I give him away or do I build him? Oh, I want to build him. He's a cool model. I only bought Gaz because it's one of the few orcs models I liked. And now I have to paint him because I made a stupid fucking agreement on Instagram, which will teach me, where I put numbers out there that I thought were unachievable. I thought they were tempting enough that people would give it a go, but I thought they were unachievable. And Instagram went, fuck you, Liam. You can't put that out of our reach. And then people like Quipster got involved, and people like Valrak got involved, and now I've got to paint him. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Son of Olympia says, time to raise the bar then. Yeah, absolutely. I will be eating Percy Pig Jammy Dodgers tomorrow. There's Percy Pig Jammy Dodgers. I want some of those. I told you, I've got your Percy Pigs for Jake tomorrow. I haven't spent all of the money that you've specifically donated for. I have actually got a Percy Pig fund. This is genuine. From when you super chatted for Percy Pigs 2 weeks ago, I took that money that was specifically super chatted for Percy Pigs, and I put it into a fund. And now I've got to add to that fund because the amazing Andrew T has just super chatted £5 for Percy Pigs invest streams. But do I put £2.50 into Percy Pigs and £2.50 into vet? How do I break that down, Andrew? Tell me how I break that down. But I did genuinely put that money aside for Percy Pig streams. There's £18 left in the Percy Pig fund. I'm just saying. I have done that. So if you guys super chat for specific things, then I have to oblige mostly. Is it in a piggy bank? That's amazing. Is it in a pissy bank? Piggy bank, brilliant. BMO Play Now. Someone gifted me a sub a week ago. I can't believe I didn't notice. Thank you, whoever did that. Yeah, there's lots of people gifting subs on Twitch, which is incredible, amazing. I love you lot. I love you lot so much that my wife's upstairs going to bed and I'm still sat here talking to you. She's probably going to be pissed off. Don't tell her. Come on, Eddie. It's embarrassing. It'll be embarrassing tomorrow if you can't afford a membership because you spent it on the fake teeth, the fake tan and teeth whitening. Don't bully Eddie. He doesn't have to become a member. I mean, we're only 3 behind the goal for July on the last stream in July. We're only 3 behind the goal, whereas Twitch smashed the goal. Well, I don't like to fight little orange men. What do you think? What clown are you planning on painting him? You're going to be baller and paint him yellow? I don't think I've got the bollocks to paint yellow, to be honest with you. I think that I've always had a problem with orcs in 40k, and my big problem with orcs in 40k is that I don't like the sort of comedic representation of orcs in 40k. I think that they should be scary and frightening and horrendous and etc. 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 And I don't like the comedic nature. I hate that. DNX, yeah. Jeremy, because I know that's his name on YouTube, has just gifted 3 community subs on Twitch. Wow. Fucking hero. Thank you, man. You're a superstar. I love you. And Eddie did become a channel member after all. And Big Brom's just subbed on Twitch. Wow. Look at it. This is why I've had to put Twitch and YouTube in 2 different boxes, because they go off at the same time. Fucking legends. Love you lot. Love you lot. Anyway, orcs. So I never liked the comedic nature of orcs. I always hated the comedic nature of them. I like the Beast Arises frightening, scary orcs. So I think what I'm going to do with Gaz, since I have to paint him now, is I have to fucking hell, Tom. I have to I'll talk about that in a second. I have to make a scary scheme that looks horrendous and frightening, so that they are Beast Arises. And I think this model, he actually suits the big, frightening, scary, right? He's not comedic and comedy. Anyway, I've got to stop for a brief second to talk about orcs, as much as I'd love to continue, because Thomas Siep, our Australian hero, has just super chatted $100 Australian, and his words were, "Eat it, Twitch." Them's fighting words. Eat it, Twitch is fighting words. And Agent Squirrel has just become a channel member. There's a real war going on between Twitch and YouTube right now. I don't know how we decide the winner. I think I'm going to have to look at, I'm going to have to look at total revenue from both platforms for the month of July. And then I think that I'm going to have to pick a winner. And I think that next stream, once I've picked a winner, I'm going to have to decide on a prize. And I think I'm probably going to have to decide that prize is going to be £100 voucher. And if you're UK or Europe, it will be Element, because you get better value for money. And if you're not UK or Europe, it will be Games Workshop, because it makes sense, right? So I'm going to tot up the total revenue from both, okay? And the first stream next month, which is a week today, week on Monday, we're going to give away a £100 voucher. Huge shout out, Son of Olympia, who's gifted another sub to Havensack. So you can sub on Twitch, you can member on YouTube, you can super chat on YouTube, you can donate on Twitch, and you can do bits on Twitch. I think I'm gonna say it now. And I absolutely fucking love everybody on Twitch and I love everybody on YouTube. But I think, having looked at revenue 3 days ago when I do some of my channel stuff, I do weekly channel analytics, I think YouTube's ahead by quite a lot. So don't panic, Twitch, and suddenly start doing it, because I don't know if it's going to be worth the effort. And after Tom's just donated $100 Australian via Super Chat, he might have just put the nail in your coffin. I don't know. Brian's just said that's like what, 30 quid? I don't know. $100 Australian might get him a single orc, the amount they charge in America. What a legend. Thank you so much for that. Fucking hell. You people are insane. Insane. I don't know what else to say. Insane. I think Liam needs Mohawk Miniatures painting lessons and he wouldn't be afraid of yellow. Jay has shown me loads of stuff to do. And it's what he does is incredible. But I don't know what to say now after what's just been going off. Wow, amazing. Son of Olympia does say YouTube are a bunch of donkeys. Kylo says let's beat Twitch. This is the untapped resource, right? I should have been doing this forever. I should be doing Twitch versus YouTube forever, and then I'll be millionaire in a month, and then I can walk away from the job and just continue to entertain you people. YouTube are a bunch of donkeys is brilliant, by the way. Welcome to the Twitch crew, to Havensack. Thanks for the gifted sub from Son of Olympia. Absolute legend. EU would be better with on tabletop. They are in RI. Okay. Maybe I've read that wrong. I'm getting tired. We decide the winner when you put early access button on mobile. If Farak can do it and you can't, well, who's Liam? The easy access button onto mobile. How do you do that? I don't fucking hell. But the thing is, you say that though, Ginger Steve, right? You say that. There must be a way of doing it. I'm gonna have to have a look. But you say that, but plenty of people have found a way into making subbing on YouTube and becoming a member. Plenty of people have become a member on YouTube. So, I mean, you had loads of problems with it, right? So it must have been down to you, is what I'm saying. Paint it yellow and then use filters to make it look good. I'm not a fucking quipster, okay? I don't need filters to make my paint jobs look acceptable on Instagram. I'm not going to feed you guys a lie. This isn't a filter. This is just me. Okay? So, I'm not quipster. I'm not going to lie to you all. I haven't got a rack of followers on Twitter, on Instagram, who I fucking lied to because I use filters to make my yellow look more yellow. Because I painted a shit yellow, and then I pushed the saturation, and I pushed the contrast. If he's watching this, he's going to fucking text me in seconds and be like, "Oh, dickhead." But that's not me. That's not what I do. False followers he's got, because they believe he's better than he is. False. Not true. We decide that, I've read that already. Twitch be shaking in their boots from Ruben Sutherland. It's gone quiet on Twitch now, maybe because I told them that I think they're well behind on the revenue. I think Tom might have just smashed them out the park with that $100 super chat. Fucking hero. Warhips is here. If you guys haven't checked out the Warhipster channel, go and check out Josh at Warhipster. He does incredible work with contrast paint. Go check him out on YouTube. He's got a pretty decent Instagram account as well. Give him a sub on YouTube. Go watch some of his content. He does some really good work. I think he does Monday night streams as well, actually. Do you do Monday night streams? Is it Monday night streams? Do you do them? I can't remember. Feel free to promote yourself in the chat, dude. Crack on, because your stuff's really cool. Good night, folks. And Liam, was a fun time from Peter Butchins. You absolute hero. Thank you for joining us, legend. Mighty Moog tells me RI's Republic of Ireland. That makes sense. I've always known it as ROI. Shots fired. Alex just got ruined. Look, he gets too much praise. Someone's got to bring him down to earth with a bump. Someone's got to. Because he fucking loves himself more than anyone else can love him anyway. Just saying. I need to turn this off in a minute. I'm going to get excited otherwise. He should never have told his dirty secret. He shouldn't have, but I'm glad he did, because it gives me something to troll him with constantly, and he can't deny it. When you get a sec, can you remind me what mask your Harlequins are? Not a clue. Not a clue. Have a snack. Whatever one I want to run them as. Midnight Sorrow, I think I used to use them as. Ask Varak a technical question, mate. It doesn't hurt to just ask someone more knowledgeable. Not reading the rest of that. Ginger Steve. Pet Yellow subbed on both because he's a hero. He is an easy access. I knew it was yellow to be true. I knew it was too yellow to be true. It is. It's a fucking lie. He's lying to all of you. Just saying. Who is the false prophet? I will claim his skull. Good man. Filthy donkey dollars from YouTube. Jesus Christ. I think I'm gonna like culturing this hateful relationship between the two. I'm gonna enjoy this. Evening everyone from Ali Reed. I'm about to finish, but thank you so much for dropping in anyway, you absolute hero. Thank you. Asking why he's painted his Black Templars cross-eyed. Show me. If that's true, show me. Have you read the Dark Imperium books yet? I've finished the first one. I say read, I haven't read it. I'm using audiobooks. So I've read the first one, listened to the first one, I'm now listening to the second one. So we're super close to no, I'm not super close to the second one. I'm about a third way through the second one. They're alright. Chris wasn't a massive Warsmith Chris wasn't a massive fan of them. He said they were okay. He said that Mortarion is a bit of a cartoon bad guy. I haven't really got that vibe yet, but I don't think I've had a lot of exposure to Mortarion in the series yet. I kind of like how badass Gulliman is, actually, and I didn't think I'd ever say that, so, it's okay. I'm getting through them, though. I like the fact that it's current lore. I've got a bit of Heresy burnout. I like Heresy. I like the Horus Heresy series, but I've got a bit of Heresy burnout, so I'm enjoying listening to some 40k stuff. Savage Monkey 2099, Liam, good day. Hello, mate. How are you? Thanks for joining us. You're a little bit late. You're a little bit late. Next time, try and be at 9:30, please. What you are about to witness is me turning my stream off, and before I keep flashing it up, but before we finish the month of July, we're not going to hit the 25 sub goal on YouTube. However, YouTube probably have smashed Twitch out the park. Saying that though, Twitch did absolutely obliterate the member goal, sub goal in July. So, one YouTube member, and we would have made both goals. One. It's 8:30 a.m. here. It starts at 6:30 a.m. Is that? I don't know if that's good or not. Is 6:30 not? Is it too early? I don't think it's too early. A tip. What's the tip? Is that? I guess that's like a sub from Dats and Des. Absolute legend. $4.99 supporting the stream. Hero. Thank you. So as well. But a lot of this money goes back into supporting the stream. So some of it not directly for this particular stream, but I've recently purchased this thing. I'm going to show you this thing now. I've recently purchased this thing. Are you ready for this? Tech. Ooh. So this is a Stream Deck thing. Old man Arkanor subbed for 1 month. Absolute hero. Thank you very much. This is a Stream Deck thing. This thing is £1,000 UK money. And this is going to go into my garage as well as probably be used at Steve's place, because I can feed multiple cameras in and do camera switching there, so that I can run live streams from the garage and we can play games. So Alex can come down, Brom can come over, three of us get together, we can actually run streams from my garage as well as running them from my studio, I should say, rather than garage, right? I should be a bit more professional than that. Jeremy's become a member. All the members unite. Members. Jeremy, you're a hero. I know you're a huge supporter of the channel as well. I think you've basically commented on every video I've ever made. I love you. Thank you so much. Absolute legend. And now YouTube is smashing through that goal as well. Alex Bransgrave has become a member as well. Fucking heroes. I love it. Carlo's telling me to refresh it. So I want to turn the stream off now, but I know it wouldn't have picked it up so quickly. So I'm going to give it a little bit longer before I finally turn the stream off. And I'll show you that you've smashed the goal for July. Then I've got to set new goals for August. So before I go, what we're also going to do, so we're also going to get you guys to tell me what goals we should set. So, I fucking love you lot. Twitch and YouTube are going to be the little devil and angels on your shoulders, but instead of getting you to do stuff, we're just going to be constantly giving you money and telling each other to fuck off. I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Liam, before you go, when you're going to paint that Orc Mini? Ali, because Instagram has spoken, that is now the only model I'm going to paint. Until it's finished, I'm not going to touch anything else. Because I put it to Insta, they rose to the challenge. I didn't think they would. They rose to the challenge. That's the rules. This is part of the interaction piece now. The interaction piece now is engaging with you guys constantly. And if you tell me to do something, no, I'm not going to finish that sentence because that's fucking dangerous with you lot. But okay, Carlos telling me to refresh it. Is it going to be done? You guys, fucking amazing. If you have become a member tonight, there's a load of you that become members tonight. Thank you so much. There is a little private Discord. It's not the busiest, I won't lie. The DZ Discord is the place to be because of DZ TV's the biggest business that's going to ever exist for Warhammer 40k content. Not yet, but it will be there. But so I'm trying to give you something because I just don't know I don't know how else to say thank you, to be honest with you. Like I said, if we get to the point where this goes full time, then I will also, I promise you, if we go full time, I'll do 2 streams a week at least. Like live streams of these a week, plus a battle report probably every fortnight on YouTube. Promise you. But we need to get there for £20 from Andrew T for a trolling Quipster fund. Now that's a fund I can get behind. That is a fund I can get behind. Kylo, can I come and play? Absolutely, of course you can. Walking Death, explain what happened to your Space Wolves. They're in a little box. I'm not feeling the Space Wolves right now. I need to jump back on the Space Wolves. I love the Viking vibe. You'll notice if you become a YouTube channel member that it's all based on Viking names. The Discord's called The Great Hall. It's all Viking thing. I love Viking stuff. I'm on season 4 of Vikings at the moment on Amazon. I'm enjoying it. It's great. So I love Vikings. I'm just not feeling Space Wolves right now. I don't know why. You know what happened when Varak did that? He was forced to play as Eldar for a week. I'd be okay with that, though. Ninjon and Miniac have some great videos for speed painting. I'm all like Gaz, especially Ninjon. I was watching a Midwinter Middies video, actually, earlier about speed painting orcs. Just because I was looking at the... Instagram numbers. Should we see if Instagram did it? Because I guess if people are coming in here and so basically what I said was if the post got over 1,000 likes and I got 3,000 follows in total on Instagram, then I would paint Gaz. And I didn't think they would do it. I genuinely didn't think they would do it. Honest to God. And the post is now at 1,164 likes. It's my most liked post ever, and it's an unpainted picture of Gaz in my hand. So that's amazing to start with. And the followers are at 3,012. The motherfuckers are going to make me paint Gaz next. Scrivo, you need to go kill a spider in your lounge, apparently. Have you seen a Facebook update from Warhammer Widows from my wife? Is that where that's come from? VT Carlo, you can let me come and be on your stream. Now I'm just sat here talking to you just because you guys have super chatted and membered and subbed and I just like saying members so much that I feel like I can't leave. I feel like I'm trapped here now. Amazing. So she's actually Warhammer Widows posted on Facebook about fucking spiders. Oh yeah, here she's mentioned me in it as well. Great. Okay, good. I'm sorry to interrupt your live stream. 17 minutes ago, I'm sorry to interrupt your live stream. I said I wouldn't heckle the live chat, so I'm poking you on my page. Me and the dog have left the lounge. There is a spider in there. Brilliant. Okay. That page. That is the page of an incredible human being who is probably the only person in the world who supports me more than you lot do. She is fucking phenomenal. So I should probably go and save her from said spider, which won't be very big, nor will it be very frightening. But she wants to be saved. And she, like I said, she probably is the only person in the world who supports me more than you guys do. If you want to laugh, you can head on over to Warhammer Widows on Facebook, follow that page, and she sometimes puts comedy comments up about stupid shit that I do in the hobby as well. She's a absolute legend. Eddie says, you do love a good member. I do, especially when it's people like you. I feel bad as well, right? Because Super Chats stay up for as big as a donation is. So if you guys are on YouTube right now, you'll notice that Tom's fucking $100 Australian Super Chat is only about a quarter of the way through. I can't sit here for the rest of that, though. I can't, because I got work in the morning. I've got a meeting at 9 a.m. I need to go to bed. I need to shower. Look how wet I am from the heat. I need to shower. I fucking love you guys. Absolutely love you guys. Savage Monkey, how do you feel that a 2,000 point Snagger army will be £500 up? So this is interesting. The Twitch thing, not the Twitch thing, sorry, the Instagram thing, I did think about, now that they've smashed that goal, I did think about going, actually, okay, you fucking bunch of arseholes, if you think you're bigger than me, get to 5,000 followers and I'll do a full orc army. But then I thought that my bank manager might cry. So I don't know if I should do that or not. Anyway, before we go, because Tom's given me permission to ditch his $100 super chat and go and kill the wildlife. Tom, you're in Australia. It's not like this thing is going to be like that big. It's going to be nothing, but I need to go and rescue her anyway. Before we go, we need some what's it called? Goals for August, right? So I'm going to give you an opportunity now, Twitch and YouTube, to select goals for August. So we've currently got 26 members. So what should the August membership goal be? You set yourself a realistic target. Okay. Twitch, we've currently got 78 subscribers. So what should the subscriber goal be on Twitch? Or should we do this the other way around? Should YouTube set the sub goal on Twitch and Twitch set the member goal on YouTube? So Scrivo's give me some numbers. So Scribbo said 50 memberships on YouTube, 125 subs on Twitch. Reasonable. Jeremy said 40 YouTube, 100 Twitch. Son of Olympia said 1,000 YouTube. Probably not going to happen, right? Well, let's have a look at the serious ones. 3 members from Ginger Steve. Brilliant. It's got to be bigger than it currently is, Ginger Steve. Come on. It's got to be a challenge. I'm currently leaning towards 40 and 100. I think that kind of works. 2 times. Ooh, 2 times. YouTube 50, 500. Rich up, Habbers. I'm going to put a post on Facebook. I'm going to go to my Facebook page. I'm going to put a post on Facebook and say, how many should we do YouTube memberships and Twitch streams, Twitch subs? You guys head over to my YouTube page. I'll put it up straight after this. Let me know what you think is a realistic number of memberships for YouTube and Twitches for sub. I've just shown you where we're at. 78 for Twitch, 26 for YouTube. I like 40 and 100. Seems like it's a decent amount from Dats and Des, but let me know. Let me know what you guys think. You guys are incredible. I am blessed. I am very lucky. I'm humbled. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And if we can keep doing this, then there's a strong possibility that sometime this year I might actually be able to do this even more for you, which is amazing. Dats and Des says, are you going to raid tonight? I should. I can't be fucking bothered. I can't. Because I can't be bothered, basically. So, or I could hit the stream end and we could go for a raid. Dats and Des, give me a channel to raid and I'll do it. But you need to be on the ball with let me know who we're going to raid, and we'll jump across. Although I won't probably be joining on the raid, I guess, because, you know. Old man Arcanor, we're giving back to someone who's giving a lot. I don't feel like that, but thank you. Thank you so much anyway. You're awesome. You're all amazing. 2 dorks, 1 brush. Dats and Des says we're going to raid. If you're on Twitch, we're going to go raiding. If you're on YouTube, thank you so much. If you've listened to this back as on demand and you've listened to all 2 hours plus, then legends. Don't forget to join us live next week. And I'm hoping that next week I will have confirmed with you the first live stream battle report for the YouTube channel as well. And actually, we'll probably put them both out to YouTube and Twitch like we have these. It makes sense, but we'll see. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Amazing people. The support is incredible. Seeing the comments fill up with people with little beards next to their name in both Twitch and YouTube is humbling, outstanding. I love you all, and I will speak to you all very, very soon. Son of Olympia's just told me about the spider. I know. I'm going to go and get the spider now. Thank you so much, you guys. Love you lots. See you next week.